I am. Yeah, I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna hit the button once you hit the stream button.
It's now streaming.
Boom. Send.
I'm gonna let Reddit know real quick. Because why not?
Certainly can't hurt. Okay, hang on. I need to change my settings or my phone settings up so I can monitor the chat.
Monitoring the chat.
Yeah. That definitely needs to happen.
I'm bold of you to assume there will be chat.
Prepare for the best and all like that. Sure, why not? I'll go with that line.
All right. So, I think let me verify. It looks live. Yeah, it's live. Okay, that's working.
Well, Last Rebel Kai is already telling you to push me into the ocean. So that's we're off to a roaring start.
Yeah, we joked about how we can rename all the Vex cool guy.
I mean, it would definitely rekindle all of the other games that we've played together.
And I suppose, yeah, we really would. So I suppose to really kick this off, I'm gonna pour my first beer tonight. Tonight I am. What am I drinking anyway? I'm drinking. This is a local brewery, Deschutes Brewery, and I'm drinking.
Oh yeah, Deschutes.
I think I sent you some of this.
You did, and I was familiar with Deschutes before I got your grab bag, and like they do a really good job.
This is their fresh haze, which is probably my favorite of theirs.
Let me go get myself a tasty beverage as well.
Yeah, you really need to.
Gonna do it that way.
Yeah, you really need to. All right, okay. While he's doing that, as soon as he gets back, we'll be doing some explanation as to what squad we're using tonight and how that makes a difference, and things of that nature. Because the squads that you use do have a huge impact on how you play, and so do the pilots you pick. But there's a lot of overlap depending on which ones you grab.
So I went ahead and grabbed a special reserve. Actually, this is a whiskey barrel stout from Boulevard Brewery. It's a barrel aged version of their Dark Truth beer that they put in whiskey barrels.
At all. What was it? Dark Truth.
Yeah, Dark Truth. It's that's an imperial stout.
That's just
and
ridiculous.
It's an imperial stout that they put in whiskey barrels.
All right, so hopefully the plan for tonight is, because Into the Breach is a puzzle game at its heart, and that means sometimes you can get really caught up in it, and you can get into the concentration, which means you kind of forget to tell people what's going on. And Cool Guy here is going to help me with that by helping explain the strategies I'll be using, and if I have to drop off to go crap my pants, he can just take over. So anyway, let's get started. Was it 3 days ago? I did the hard victory with Rift Walkers, and the Rift Walkers are your default starting squad. They're a pretty decent all-round squad. They do have some drawbacks that you'll see when we use. We're going to unlock Rusting Hulks today, and you'll see compared to if you compare Rift Walkers to Rusting Hulks, one of the big differences is Rift Walkers. They're a little more on the damage. They have strike a good balance between damage and positioning, whereas the Rusting Hulks are a little bit less on the positioning and a bit more about disabling your opponents. With your starting Rift Walkers, all three of them have an attack that both pushes and damages, and as you upgrade their attacks, they solely increase damage. Whereas with the Rusting Hulks, only one of them has an attack that both pushes and damages, which is the Artie, and the Artie is a very powerful unit. Then they have another unit that only pushes and doesn't do any damage, which is your Science unit, and then lastly you have your little micro machine jet up there, who damages and does not push, but drops smoke, and then their kind of killer feature with the Rusting Hulks is their smoke that they generate also does static damage at the end of a round. What's really cool, comparing Artie to Artie, like Riftwalkers, you got to say that your Artie unit is your most powerful unit, and same is true for Rusting Hulks, is that the Rusting Hulks Artie has double the damage, 2 versus 1 at the start, compared to the Riftwalkers Artie, and on top of that, the opposite direction that you fire your Artie, it drops a smoke. That's very handy because it means that it's the only artillery unit that can also sort of crowd control on its own. Like if it's being webbed or otherwise is threatened to a unit adjacent to it, it can protect itself with smoke, which is not something that most Artie units can do. So if the Riftwalker Artie gets webbed, it's helpless until someone comes and saves it. So anyway, let's take a look at the time travelers used too. Now, the best pilot to use for the Rusting Hulks, in my opinion, is Camilla, because her special is that web does not affect her, and also smoke does not affect her.
That isn't just your opinion. That's basically objectively true.
Right.
There is going to be a shitload of smoke that is flying around while you're using the Rusting Hulks, and Camilla is one particular pilot who is not affected by smoke. Everybody else cannot attack while they are in a smoke cloud, but she doesn't give a crap.
Right, and it's not even that they can't just attack; they can't use any abilities, which means they can't repair, they can't use additional items, they can't do anything. And so that's very powerful, especially with Rusting Hulks, is that 2 of your 3 units, the jet and the rocket mech, your Artie and your jet, they generate smoke. And so usually a couple turns into the game, you have a lot of smoke on the map, which really inhibits what positioning you can take up.
Soul, you're going to need to turn me down. I'm apparently still super loud.
Let's see. Yeah, I set you to 80%. Let's try 50%.
Try 50.
Yeah,
honestly, try 50.
Say something now.
See how people
react
Okay, great.
to that. If I can still turn you down a bit more if necessary.
Okie dokie.
I mean, I think I'm not super keen on Windows audio controls. Anyway, either that or you could just stand back from your mic.
Yeah, like I can just sort of whisper everywhere. That'll work.
Right. So anyway, since we don't have Camilla, our choices that we unlocked in the first map were Silica, Prospero, Abe, Beth, Harold, and of course Ralph, which is what everyone starts with. Of these, none of them really have an ability that is like super cool to have with the Rusting Hulks. I would say of them, Prospero's probably the best because Prospero's flying on the science mech is really nice, because then the science mech can position itself over water and still use its push ability, which comes in handy quite often. Beth's starting shield, that's not super great because you got so much smoke that you don't usually need that shield. She's in our last game though, she got move and hit point upgrades, which is pretty decent. But I think what we're gonna go with Prospero, because that flying will come in handy later.
I concur. Like the pulse. If the pulse mech started with something that would allow it to do damage or something like that, that would be one thing. But not like it not having an implicit attack means that it needs the absolute maximum mobility that it needs. And that's Prospero. That's basically what Prospero means.
And so the goal here is I'm trying to put together a YouTube series where I complete a perfect victory with every squad, and that's really difficult, and it's really RNG based. And these are sort of the practice runs for that. So it's no guarantee that I'm going to succeed. It's been quite a while since I've played, but without further ado, we can get started here.
Gose, I don't remember. I'll forgive me. I don't remember which brewery you sent me. Just, drop that to me in Discord again, and I will take a look at it when we have a lag time in the stream.
All right, so I cannot see the chat for whatever reason. Just doesn't. I'm also pretty new to Twitch. I don't know how Twitch works all that well, but I'm looking at the stream and I don't see the I don't see the chat.
I mean, the trick that I've got, honestly, is I have my cell phone and I turned it on. I turned it up using the Twitch app, and I tuned into you there, and I just set it up so the screen doesn't turn off. So anytime that I need to see the chat, I just turn my head to the left a little bit, and I see the stream chat.
All right, let's get started. So, regardless of what squad I'm using, I pretty much always start on archive. And the reason I start on archive, sometimes I start on detritus if I want to go like reverse island order or something. But largely, I start on archive because there's a number of missions there where you have useful help compared to other islands where you typically don't. Like detritus, you often get that wrecking unit that could just destroy mountains and destroy everything, and you get the terraformer in the desert, but usually it's just those two that are standouts. So whereas archive, you get the tanks mission, you get the artillery support mission, you get the air support mission, so that's why. And then
you can also just get frickin' tidal wave. Tidal wave is incredible.
Yeah, tidal wave is nice too. And then typically, if you look here, so every map has it's 1 to 4 really, but here you see either 1 or 2 rewards. You can get 1 reputation or 1 grid power, or 2 and 2, or combination thereof. And early on, I always want to pursue reputation because that ends up being your currency. And if you finish you can't carry it from island to island. So if you finish with, say, 8 instead of 9 reputation, that's 1 fewer core that you can afford. So I tend to go after those double star. And here you look, we can only get 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We can probably, I say,
2, 4,
these
5.
4 right here what I want to get, because otherwise I have to go. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think yeah, we'll start with the destroy the dam.
So, by the way, your reports are coming through that you are too quiet. To fix that, what you want to do is go over to OBS and turn down the desktop audio to maybe 80%. That will make you louder by comparison.
How about that?
We'll try. We'll give that a shot. Give people a chance to adjust their sound. Yeah, minus 10 dB. That's probably about right, dude.
Yeah. So, I also could amp up I add amplification to the mic or something.
You could, but that's going to distort your voice. It's easier just to make everything else quieter. That will get the more desired sound balance, I think.
All right then. Well, anyway, so when I was new to the game, I used to think that your positioning of your mechs didn't really matter that much, but it turns out that where you position on turn 1 is actually super important, because where the AI decides to move their units and what attacks they decide to use is heavily dependent on the position of your mechs. So I've since learned a few tricks on what and what not to do when positioning. Here, let's see. We want your jet has the most mobility, so typically that's going to go in the center of the map. And because the objective here is to destroy the dam, we're going to want the artillery in a position to do that, which we'll want to put it down here. None of these guys can web, but they all have a ranged attack. So we want to make sure that we can engage all 3 of them at once. So we're going to put Prospero is going to go up here, and that should get us started. Hundreds of people are in those buildings. Well, I can't see them, all right? So here the AI did us a big favor. The alpha positioned himself by the dam, this alpha firefly over here, which is great because it means destroying the dam also kills the firefly. The only Vec here that's a threat is this one right here, the scarab, because he's threatening this building. The other 2, if we're out of position, they're not threatening anything. And typically that's when my turn comes up. That's the first thing I look at is which Vec do I have to take care of that turn, because if I don't, I will take grid damage or fail an objective. And that's an easy way to start classifying what's important and what's not to take care of. So here I think the most logical thing to do is blow the dam up. And Let's see. We'll have the artillery blow the dam up. We'll have the jet take care of the scarab, because that will be 1 damage from his rocket and then 1 damage from smoke, which will he
doesn't the artillery start at 1 damage?
Artillery starts at 2, which is why it's
okay,
such
great,
a powerful unit.
fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah,
all right.
It's 2 damage plus push plus the smoke behind you. It's such a powerful unit. I don't know that it's the strongest to start with, but it's definitely up there. And one thing about the artillery is, I mentioned before that it can defend itself by dropping smoke behind it. Well, that requires that it's able to fire its artillery in such a position to do that, which means you don't want to have the rocket mech against the edge of the map, because then it cannot fire. See, like if I wanted to defend this forest right here with smoke, I couldn't, because I can't fire that direction. And you need at least 2 tiles to do that, so even right there, he couldn't defend against an attacker from this tile either. So that's just something to be cognizant of. It only really matters when you have things that can web you, which are the scorpions and that... What's that stupid one, the spider that throws its eggs? Man, I think that's my most hated unit.
Oh man, yeah, they literally are just called spiders.
Alright, so he's dealt with, and then we'll bring you over, and the jets will take care of the scarab, and that ends turn 1.
Armor Scion. That's not that big of a deal.
So the Scions, they range from mildly annoying to infuriating depending on the composition of the enemies. In this case, this is the Armor Scion. It doesn't matter because, well, in the water he goes. And what makes that really cool is we can now block 2 of the 3 Vec emerging. And let's see, there's not really a position for the Artimech to get killed. So I have a choice between... I can have the jet kill the Scion, or I can have the jet block and then have the rocket mech smoke the Scion. And smoking the Scion is the better option here because virtually always, 9 times out of 10, blocking Vec from emerging is better than killing something on the map and not. Because at least then you know what's on the map. So we're going to smoke him, and we're going to move you up there. And the reason why I'm going to move the jet up here is... if you get a Hornet popping up from here, the Hornet has a movement range of 5, which is greater than anything you have. So the Hornet could just fuck off and go attack and threaten this building right here, and I couldn't do anything about it. So that's why you want to discourage them from having any movement by putting the jet there.
Roboguy mentioned thinking a few turns ahead. That's what we're referring to here.
And so,
speaking of Hornets,
there's a Hornet, and actually it's kind of shitty because I don't know if the jet can fly past the dam, so I might be screwed anyway. I think I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Yep. Basically, there's not a damn thing you can do about that Hornet.
No, I cannot do anything with that Hornet. So that's very unfortunate, but that is the RNG nature of the game. So like if I'm doing a perfect run, I'd have to restart the game right here because I have absolutely no capacity to deal with that Hornet. But it doesn't matter that much. So we're just gonna instead of dealing with either the Hornet or that Scion, we're just gonna have everybody repair and block. Let's see. Yeah, that's the best we can do.
What a pain in the dick.
And Prospero is so practical. Those Arcane civilians will nurture the soil. Like, I love him. Okay, so the Hornet is irrelevant, and this is the last turn, so the only thing we have to deal with is the Scarab. And I really want Prospero to level up faster, so I think what we'll do... Can the jet reach the Scion? No. We have a choice on who to kill here. And it has to be... It doesn't look like we can kill both the Scion and the Scarab. We have to choose between them. Since they both have 2 hit points, but the Scarab is the one threatening, that's the one we go for. So we'll kill the Hornet like so. And then we'll have Prospero get some XP. And that will end this mission.
That felt good. Good getting back at that stupid Hornet. What a dick.
It happens sometimes, like usually, I would say when you get those sorts of situations and it's early on in the game, I just restart the game because there's nothing you can do about it. But if I'm further along, I might spend a few minutes just thinking, okay, defend the train. Defend the train is by far the mission I hate the most. But I do want that extra reputation, so I think we're going to go for it anyway. Armor sign, a scarab, and a hornet. So we'll have...
The hornet is definitely your biggest problem here.
Yeah, the hornet's the biggest threat because if you click on the enemy, you can see its movement range. He could fly all the way up here and threaten this building. So if we deployed somewhere, over here, we couldn't do much about it. And the scarab also, it's basically the Vec artillery, so he also can threaten across the map. But if you look, he's actually kind of limited in what he can do because he has the same limits other artillery does. He can't shoot in the water. He can pretty much only, with his movement range, he could threaten this building, or he could threaten one of these two. But he can't threaten these. He'll probably... he might.
Yeah, the most irritating thing he could do is go straight forward to threaten the train, because that threat is twofold. One, he's shooting at the train. Two, he's on the track.
Yeah, and so both of those can... The train can take 2 hits, basically. 1 hit will wreck the train, but you can still defend the wreckage, and then the second hit, you fail the objective. So we're going to put the jet up here. We're going to want the artillery to go after the Scion, because he will only do 1 damage with the arty to either of those two, and 0 damage with the plane. So we'll put the arty probably right here, because the Scion, they kind of move just randomly. Yeah, I think that's good.
That's pretty kind of them.
Yeah, so this is a pretty easy turn. You'll see that the Hornet is threatening this building, and then nobody's threatening the train. The Scion's in a good position to get killed. So what we'll probably want to do here, we need the beetle to... We need the scarab to move if we're going to deal with the Hornet. And the easiest way to do that is just to push him. But if we want to also kill the Scion, it doesn't look like we can do that. So I think what we'll do is, yeah, we'll move the scarab, and then we're gonna kill the... Well, that actually gonna kill the Hornet. We will first... We don't have the range to do that, do we? That's a bummer. So,
Dude, I gotta interrupt you. Robokai just made the best observation. Mm-hmm. We're the team with big smoke, but we're the ones following the train.
Nice.
Fuck.
So I think what we'll want to do here is, since we can't really see, if we kill the Scion, then that Hornet is gonna kill the building. So what we'll do is we'll just accept that we can't kill the Hornet this turn, but we'll still block a Vec, which is not optimal, but good enough. And
I mean, you can just still go ahead and kill the Scion.
Yeah, I meant killing him before the jet attack, because then the Hornet would die. But either way, we're going to be left with 3 Vec on the next turn, but 2 of them will have 1 hit point each. So this should not be a big deal at all.
Oh, it's a scarab. That's not a big deal.
Okay, so we got another scarab, and we have a Hornet over here. So we got a couple of options here. They're both threatening this building, and that Hornet is threatening that building. So we've got to deal with both of these. But if you look, since this one only has 1 health left, and this is a spawn point, let's do this.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And then we'll have the jet take care of the Hornet with its awesome movement range. And I think that's our only option, is to smoke him.
Still three Vec. Well, 2 Vec actually, because I forgot about that.
Yeah, the last round we'll have 2. Of course, it's an Alpha Hornet.
That's not. That's an entirely doable thing though. Setup. Yeah. Now you can.
That's it.
Now you can just hop over. Oh, okay. I was gonna smoke. I would have gonna say smoke the Alpha Hornet, but I suppose that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's last turn.
That went a hell of a lot better than train missions usually do.
Yeah, I'll let you know when the beer starts to hit me. It's not hitting me. So this is one of my favorite missions on Archive, is defend artillery support. But if we take it, then we'll lose out on getting access to whatever this guy is. So I want that 2 rep. So we're gonna go tidal waves.
Yeah, Retrospect Park has tidal waves. This is always fun. Because like basically every turn, the water area is going to expand, and Vec don't do well with water, and your dudes, they do okay with water. Like if they don't fly, they can't attack or act, so that's kind of a problem. But they don't frickin' die, which is the alternative.
Right. One thing to note here is that if any of these were capable of webbing, for instance, if these are scorpions, I would not put the arty up front like this, but I am, because none of them can grab. And so I'd rather have the arty up close. This arty specifically because he has both a long and short range attack. Typically with your arty, you want them in the back and somewhere toward the corner so that they have the greatest ability to hit different tiles on the map, since their range is unlimited. But in this case, I'm going to put the arty down here, up front as possible, so that if they're near the water, he can hopefully shove them into the water. And I'm going to do the same thing with Prospero as well, is have him up front so that he can hopefully shove into the water. We'll see if that works. So these...
That could be worse.
Yeah, the fireflies are threatening the buildings, but... we got a couple of options here. So turn order is 2, 3, 4. All right, so the beetle is irrelevant. We can ignore the beetle for a turn. We can probably get away with if we want to block as much as possible here. So I would say probably position the jet over one of the spawns. Position Artie, have Artie shove this firefly up, or just have Prospero shove him down and then leave one of them up there. Since
if you have Prospero shove from that position, he's going to get hit by the beetle, since it will shove his attack back too.
Yeah, and that would kill him too. So that's not an
yeah,
option.
that's going to kill the crap out of him.
The other option is we can shove the beetle onto this. No, that doesn't work either.
No, that's gonna make it drop fire onto the city. You definitely don't want to do that.
So let's think about this then. If we instead, well, we can't do that either. We're kind of.
I mean,
really
already shoves when it hits something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So move it down to B3, and fire at the scarab. That will shove it out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but then
then have Prospero shove, and then smoke the lead firefly that is currently on D4.
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely optimal here. So that's what we'll do. We'll shove that firefly, and then we're left with just the one.
Boom.
And that's fine. The only problem now is we're gonna have a lot of
Vec coming up, but we're gonna kill two of the Vec here.
So yeah, that was definitely a pro gamer move right there. Okay, we can ignore this firefly, and we can ignore him as well, because they're he'll die, and he's not gonna do anything. So the real one we got to care about is this hornet. Unfortunately, I don't see a way that we can kill the hornet this turn, so we're going to focus on incapacitating.
Yeah, you can. Just have our move Prospero over to block. Have our Artie kill the armor scion, and then smoke the hornet.
Yeah, definitely. You're right there. So that would look like this. No, I don't want to move him that far back. Does that look right? Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah, that looks right.
You know what? No, I want Prospero here, because otherwise he can get trapped by whatever pops out of here. So we're going to put him there instead.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then you're going to come up, you're going to move, kill the Scion.
Boom!
And
that's the end of that Hornet.
I want to push this guy or not? I don't think it matters that much. So we're just gonna...
I don't think it does. No. GG.
All right, last turn, and this will be pretty benign. We're gonna get rid of the Hornet.
This is not a big deal.
And we will just smoke him. I don't think. And that's it.
Yep. Better luck next time, Bugs.
Yep.
Good thing they were prepared for flooding.
All right,
satellite launches. This is a great objective.
Yeah, I really like Defend Satellite, and the reason, I mean, if you haven't played the game already, you'll see.
Yeah, it'll become obvious here in just a moment.
And that's our first pod. So,
about time.
You on Archive. Well, I don't know about easier difficulties, but on Hard, you always get exactly one pod that drops on Archive. But it can happen in the very first mission, or it can happen in the very last mission. You don't know until you get it. So Prospero has 4 movement here. So what we're gonna do, we'll pick up the pod and drop him into the water because that's where he belongs. And we'll kill the Scion, and then with our remaining jet, we'll kill. Well, I guess he's not. Oh yeah, they got 3 hit points, not 2. That was a pretty obvious first turn there.
Yeah, that one wasn't that bad.
Now,
okay.
Now you see the satellite launching here, and the satellite will kill anything that is in these red marked tiles when it launches. Now, in the turn order, it always goes last, which means that that Hornet will still get a turn to destroy those buildings. We don't want that. But here's why we love the Rusting Hulk so much. The Artie can drop smoke right on him and disable him, and then he'll just have to sit there patiently while he dies. And we could also do that with the jet if the jet could reach, but since the jet cannot reach, we'll take a look at the other Vec. Neither of them are threatening any building, so we can ignore them, and the first obvious move is we'll smoke the Hornet. Because now the Hornet will die, and it cannot hurt any buildings. Since we want to block, we can move Prospero to block, and this guy only has 1 hit point, so he can do that. Now, we have a choice between either killing this Scarab or blocking. We cannot both kill it and block because we will lose health to block, and we will also be on fire, so the jet would die. So the best option there, since this guy has only 1 hit point and he's not threatening, is the block. And that's it. And when I say best, like, that can sometimes be a matter of opinion. There's not always one true path to solving any particular turn, but some are more obvious than others. And if you ever read the Into the Breach Reddit, you'll commonly see people posting a screenshot of a particularly difficult turn, and then people will take different jabs at how they would solve it. And sometimes for the more difficult ones, you'll get 3 or 4 different very creative ways of solving that particular puzzle. All right, so he's on fire. I think another shove is probably what we want to do here with Prospero, and then we'll block.
Vec has changed biomes.
I know, I love that so much.
Weather Machine Troop, one of the harder sets, if I recall. I mean, it depends on what your preferences are for words hard for solving problems, right? A lot of people have some problems with the Rusting Hulks simply because they prefer to simply kill Vec, and that's 100% reasonable. Like, I totally get that. But by the same token, if you're more just about like disabling them and working around the problem rather than smashing it, a lot of people do quite well with the Rusting Hulks.
In my opinion, they're one of the more powerful squads. The problem is, so all of the squads have their own little special quirk, and some of those quirks are more powerful than others. With the Rusting Hulk, their perk is that the smoke also causes damage. The problem is that because smoke also denies you the ability to use that token, they can be very unwieldy, and it's greatly helped if you have the right pilot. So if you have Camilla with you, rusting hulks are ridiculously powerful. If you don't, then it's a bit more of a gambit.
Looks like Gino's got mech reactor. Nice.
So this guy got reactor, which is great. For the Artie, like, I think we'll want to do damage on him because he since we had a core to use anyway. Kickoff boosters. When did I get those?
Literally just now. You got them from the time pod.
Oh, nice. Okay, so kickoff boosters, they're definitely not an item you'd ever want to keep if you had a choice between something else, but they're nice if you just happen to get it for free, which I just did. They give you bonus movement if you start. So I used to think it was only useful the very first turn, but it turns out that they give you bonus movement in any turn that your mechs are adjacent to each other. It's not like it's rare that's going to be the case that your mechs are going to be adjacent to each other, but it's a nice little kick. All right, so man, I kind of thinking that I should have turned on Prospero's flying, but that's okay. We got Beetle Eater, all Beetle Eater.
Oh, dude, it's the Beetle Eater. What are you even worried about?
God, I love this guy. All right, so
he's such an idiot.
So I said in the very beginning of the stream that where you position your mechs at the start of the map is important because it will dictate, it will influence the AI's behavior. And one thing the AI will definitely do is if it sees you set up a particularly juicy target that makes it difficult for them to fail, they're going to take it. So for instance, if I were to like put my Artie in front of this building, the Beetle will see, oh, well, I can charge at the Artie, and even if he moves out of the way, I'm still going to charge at the building. So that's what I'm going to do. So in cases like this, I want to try and give the AI, like, it's going to have to make choices between going for building or going for me. Don't ever give them the opportunity to go for both at once. And Hornets and Beetles are particularly notorious for that because they have attacks that can span multi-tiles, like the Alpha Hornet and Beetles because they traverse the map. All right, and the same is true for also like spiders that can web multiple units at once. But while I want to have Prospero over here to defend against this Firefly, I'd still rather not give that Beetle the opportunity to charge into the buildings. Probably what he's gonna do. My guess is Beetle is gonna move here and charge right here, which will be great.
That's my thought as well. And one of the things to note is that you probably actually did just make the correct call with upgrading Artie's damage simply because while Prospero's flying is amazing, the Beetle Leader has a lot of hit points for this stage in the game.
He does, yeah.
So gonna need to take care of that.
All right, so my first beer is starting to hit me. So,
I am about 3/4 of the way through mine, and I don't feel a thing.
Well, I mean, I think you're like 200 pounds heavier than me, so whatever.
I'm 200 pounds even, man. What do you literally weigh nothing?
I'm pretty tiny. Actually, no, I'm kind of fat right now. Let's see. So we got 2 buildings under threat, and the Beetle Leader is not doing anything important, but he's going to charge up here. What we don't want is for the Beetle Leader to be up here, and then like he can just sit there and rampage, and we can't do anything because we're stuck down here defending. So we can't shove anybody into the water, and we can't. Well, I think the best option here is Artie can block and disable both of these guys. He can disable the Scarab and also push the Firefly out of the... Well, he just kills the Firefly because we damaged it.
Yeah, he just murders that Firefly. He's cool.
Yeah, so I think that's what we do.
That's definitely what you do.
And then from there, we have the choice of... Oh, Prospero's got 5 movement. Did I upgrade?
Right, because of the kickoff boosters.
Oh, that's so... like... That's serendipity right there, because we can now do
quite
this.
So.
Wow. So both of those decisions, in hindsight, were fantastic decisions.
Yep. You putting the kickoff boosters on precisely precisely the jet as well was required there for all of that to work out, because you used the extra movement from both on both of the mechs that you had there.
So that's another thing to point out, is that we'll go into it after this map is over, but the priority of upgrades. So Beetle's got 4 hit points left. We can probably, if we shove him into water, he'll have 1 left, and then we can kill the Scarab, and then we can block with Prospero. I think that might be ideal, but we could also block with Artie and kill the Scarab that way, and then... Now, I think my original assessment was what we want to do. So we're going to let Zoe take a hit for the team here, and Artie is going to kill the Beetle. See? Just like so. Zoe will take care of the Beetle, or the Scarab, and then Prospero will just sit and repair. So we've got 3 dudes on the field now, except that the leader is gone, which is great.
And one of them's a Scion. That's...
I kind of regret that we missed letting the Beetle charge, because the Beetle leader, he just leaves this trail of fire everywhere he goes. And the funny thing about that is he's not immune to fire himself. So inevitably he ends up setting himself on fire. Alright, so I think taking care of the Scion is probably our best opening move. And then we'll want to push the Hornet to block, because then Prospero doesn't have to move. And then Zoe can take care of that Scarab. Is that his or her name? Zoe? Is that pilot? I forget.
I mean, whichever.
Alright, so this is the last turn. Pretty easy decision. Shove him into the water. Move you out of the way.
See you later, hater.
Get the easier kill. And that's the first island. So we're about 20% done with the game. And that little tune you're hearing now is a result of not failing any objectives. Okay, so I said...
Ooh, dude, Prospero got mech move.
I know, so that was what I was gonna... Ralph, yeah, who's gonna pick Ralph as their free?
Oh my god, please no.
So smoke bombs are pretty cool. Smoke bombs are functionally what the jet has anyway, except the jet also does damage with its rockets, but it has the same... it drops smoke, and it has either a 1 or 2 tile range. So we're gonna grab smoke bombs. Now, you can think long and hard about when you're upgrading your mechs, what are the priority upgrades? And my thought on this is that movement is probably always going to be your priority. And if you think about it, that it is very, very rare that you will fail an objective or take grid damage because you couldn't, because you lost a mech or something. But it's much more likely that you will fail an objective because you couldn't get to the right tile. And the grid is only 8x8, which means that a movement of 3 means you're covering what, like a third of the map at once. If your movement is 4, you're covering half, like 4 orthogonal direct. And then if your movement is 5, you can basically get just about anywhere on the map. It's exceptionally powerful doing prioritizing movement over something else on flying units, because flying units can go over mountains and go through enemies by default. Normally, your mechs cannot move through enemies unless they have a special ability that I think one pilot has it, and then there might be an item that grants it. I forget. So in any case, because we're using Rusting Hulks, we really want to have Zoe here to have the bonus movement, because her smoke, which can disable any unit, is great, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. So we really want to get her to be able to cover the whole map. So we're going to buy some cores. And smoke drop. So smoke drop is an incredibly powerful...
Oh my god, seriously?
Yeah, so we're definitely going to get that. Rock Accelerator is also great, but since we already have a pretty powerful artillery attack, we're going to go for it. So we'll get rid of smoke bombs.
No. I was gonna, dude, get rid of freaking kickoff boosters. You don't care about kickoff boosters.
That's true, but they just like saved our bacon real bad right there. I don't know if
It is true. All right, it's fair. It's fair.
So smoke bombs, I'm gonna give them to Prospero, and the smoke drop you only can use it once per turn, and it cannot be upgraded, which means that's it. The advantage is that it targets a cross section on the map. It can be used at any distance. And because smoke disables any enemy, it is a wonderful panic button that it does not matter what the situation is. If you haven't used your smoke drop yet, you can probably get out of it. The problem is that because it can't be upgraded, it'll quickly be outclassed by other items. And if you use it too early, like if you kind of use it as a crutch, well, you'll blow it in the first turn or two, and then you'll have a situation that escalates because it's rarely going to kill an enemy. It just puts the problem off for a turn. All right, so we're going to give the jet the movement boost, and shield friendly is very powerful here because it lets you shield things like the train, the terraformer, and other buildings. Shield self is nice because it means that you can always withstand one attack every turn, no matter how powerful it is. But the damage boost on the rocket mech might also be very useful because at this stage in the game, having something that does 4 damage and push means there's basically nothing that can survive that. Even an Alpha Hornet will die to this. And the island we're going to go to next, which is the desert, there's a mission there you can roll, which is just endless waves of Hornets, including Alpha Hornets. So we're probably going to go with the damage. Think about this for a second. Yeah, we'll go for damage. All right, now we're at RST. RST has a bonus objective here with a core, and it looks like you'll reach all 3 of these. So we're going to go this way.
You're definitely going to. Hopefully, you'll be able to get that core because that's the only. That's probably the only real way that you're going to get Prospero flying on this level.
Yeah, and it's really nice to have him flying on RST.
No joke.
So, man, it's kind of... So the Earth Mover's first turn, it's going to add dirt here and here, which means the Scorpion is going to be able to move up to here if necessary. So if I put my Artie right here, that almost for sure that Scorpion is going to come grab him. So instead, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to put Artie here, because he cannot be grabbed in that case. And Prospero... See, if I put him... I think... No, I'm going to move the jet out there. Is what I'm
Friggin' Rooster pointing out that this is your home corporation right here. You got a home turf advantage.
Yeah. I somehow doubt that Prospero came from RST.
The Hulks themselves did, though.
Yeah. Alright, so, yeah. Okay, I was wrong, actually. It only did 1 out, which meant I could have put the Artie there if I wanted to. So, now he's got 4 hit points, and that would be a kill from the Artie, but we can also block instead, which I think is the better move there. And instead... Well, we've got a couple of choices, don't we? If we want to maximize blocking, since that Scarab is largely irrelevant, I think what we'll do is we'll have the jet go jump over here to block.
Right.
And then we'll use 1, 2, 3. We'll kill the Scorpion and then move Prospero to block. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll position like so.
Booyah.
Yeah, and then lastly, as a coup de grace here, Prospero could just
bump
kick
him into
that,
the mountain. Why not?
Kick that guy right in the butt. Yeah, that worked well because we took one off the field and they didn't replenish that. So...
I mean, kill the thing. What is it going to regenerate in this case?
Yeah, and that's another thing is, as I mentioned earlier, that blocking is almost always better than
Uh-oh.
controlling. There's some exceptions to that. One exception is if you have a really powerful alpha that you're having difficulty controlling, it might be better to take out the alpha. But still, largely, you want to block if you can. Okay, we got a spider. So I actually see... let's think about this. So if we use Zoe to... No, that's no good. So I'm thinking... that's not going to accomplish much if we get him off the terraformer. We have to get him off the terraformer, but...
I mean, yeah, you need to get him off the terraformer, but I'm not certain that's the correct way to do it.
We also don't want a spider on the next turn. This might be a good use for smoke right now, actually, because that...
I was thinking so, actually. Just
Yeah.
go ahead and cross out the entire middle area there with smoke.
So I think what we'll do is we'll pop smoke here, which will kill the spider. It will leave the alpha with 1 hit point, and when the scion dies, the alpha will die with it on the last turn. And then for the jet, we'll simply have the jet repair in place. And that's again why I really love having smoke, but later on it does get outclassed. Alright, so we got 1 building under threat by that 1 hit point alpha. We have the terraformer. The terraformer will the earth mover will survive. And spider can't act because it's the last turn. So all we need to do is kill the scion and we win. The difficulty is, if you look, we have... we got kind of a problem here because the jet cannot get to that scion. That's where having Camilla would be really powerful. If we push the scion to kill it, that will damage the building. We could simply push the alpha into the smoke. That would get us out of here. Another option is we could shove the Artie into the exact, which will destroy it, and then Artie can move here. No, that would damage the building, so we can't do that. So I think really the only good option is to simply shove the scorpion into the smoke. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we'll get us some bonus XP, and that's it. That's the map. That's where, like with the rusting hulks, that the longer the map goes on, the more smoke you get, and it can become increasingly difficult to maneuver.
It's really weird because like absent Camilla, the hulks get both harder to use but more powerful as the map goes on in that way.
This is a
hell
tough one.
no.
I don't like with the damage output we have right now and the unit configuration. I don't know that I can pull this off.
Like the thing that you would want to do basically is deploy all of your units at the back row to try to encourage people to come as far forward as possible, so you could get as much possible done by both attacking and shoving. So having Artie or having Prospero in the back row there would be kind of ideal, but like that's a really risky.
Yeah, and if you look, we're gonna have 4 on turn 1 plus a scarab, who that's their Artie. I would say that I probably only have about like a 1 in 4 chance of actually pulling that mission off. And since the bonus reward is a core, it's not. I don't think it's worth the risk, because failing this means we don't get the bonus reward at the end of the island.
Which is another 2 reputation, which functionally is the core that we're gambling with.
Yeah, so I think it's better to go over to Volatile Beck area.
All right. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
All right, you do you. All right, what do we got? We got a lot of grabbers, including the Volatile Beck. Volatile Beck, and we've got you. And you can move. He can move up here. So we're gonna put Artie up here where he can't be grabbed, and Prospero will go over here just in case the Scorpion decides to come over this direction. Oh goody, we get a pod. I'll wait till Tim comes back before we explain pod drop mechanics. Oh, that's not good. So the volatile Vec, you fail the objective if it dies. On top of that, it also explodes when it dies. And if we use the jet to incapacitate it, it'll only have 2 health the following turn, which is not good. We can't use Prospero to shove it because he can't get that far. He can't get far enough over to shove it to the correct location. So the only real practical way to save that building is to drop smoke. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to drop smoke. But first, we're going to find a way. We'll deal with the Scorpion. We will drop. We'll incapacitate and block, and then we will pick up the pod and smoke, which I think is the best we could possibly do there. Now, when we drop the smoke, I'm going to drop it in front. I'm going to drop it here rather than here, because that way the Vec will be discouraged from moving this direction, and instead we'll move this direction and hopefully make it easier to control. Tim, are you back yet?
I am, in fact, back. I just sat down in time to hear you talking about how you were controlling that volatile Vec.
Yeah. So as I was pointing out, the Artie could incapacitate the Vec with his smoke, but I also wanted to get rid of that initial Scorpion. And if we use the jet, that would be 2 damage to the Vec. If we use the Artie's main attack, that would kill the Vec. And also cause it to explode. And so the safest option we have would be to use smoke. And in addition to, because Prospero can't get over to this tile, which if he had flying, 1, 2, 3, no, he still couldn't get over there. And then in addition to that, I was going to explain that the time pods and how they get destroyed. So maybe you can do that.
So yeah, the time pods themselves functionally have one hit point. But so you can't, like, if anything directly attacks them, that's it. That's GG. But even beyond that, excuse me. Even beyond that, you have the issue of if a Vec decides to step on it, then then that also destroys the time pod. So it behooves you to attempt to move somebody over there as quickly as humanly possible, simply because moving somebody over there will instead recover the pod and ensure that it remains yours at the end of the level.
The good news there is that the Vec will never deliberately walk on the tile. They can be pushed onto the tile, but they will never walk on it. And if they shoot over it, like for instance, if this Firefly was right here, they can shoot over it safely. But if any fire lands on that tile, or if you push a Vec onto that tile, or if that tile takes damage from, say, a volatile Vec explosion, then it's destroyed. And here you see I'm kind of screwed because, again, Prospero didn't have the movement to get to this tile. He was 1 movement short of getting here, which would have been ideal to shove the volatile up here, which means I'm gonna have to jet the Vec, which is gonna leave him with only 1 hit.
No, I don't think you need to do that. Actually, like, can't you move Artie down?
No, he doesn't have enough movement.
Never mind. You're right. Never mind.
He's just 1 movement away, and that's why.
Yep.
It's prioritizing movement is usually the right decision. So that's.
I think that Vec is gonna die here, man.
It's looking like it. Actually, I am going to move Artie up 1 so that he can move along the alpha axis here. I don't know if that's X or Y. It's kind of confusing.
The alpha axis is a good way to put it, you know, versus the numerical axis.
Okay, that's
yes,
good.
please do more of that, Volatile Vec. Like, let's please do more of that.
Yeah, so here we've got... we can ignore him. Prospero can survive getting hit by both of them, but what's more important, he can just push them out of the way, which will both block and protect the Volatile Vec, and he won't take any damage. So all we need to do is go deal with this guy. The Jet can come help, and then Prospero
can push.
Needful. Now, the most dangerous thing that's going to happen next is, on the last turn, the Scorpion can web the Jet, and the Jet will not be able to get out because, as you can see, its ability to use any items is blocked. So that's the most dangerous thing that can happen next turn. Probably is Scorpion webbing him, which
2x web.
So now this is actually just fine.
Yeah, no, this is fine actually.
Because, well, what we can do is we can shove the Jet to safety.
No problem.
Can come incapacitate that Firefly, and then the Artie can finish the Firefly off for some XP.
See you in hell.
And we're done.
Boy, got lucky with that volatile surviving.
Yeah, that was kind of hairy there. But we got a time pod. This is one of my least favorite weapons.
What is this?
It's so the problem.
Oh
with it is
yeah, this thing sucks because it has only one use per battle.
Yeah, it not only is it one use per battle, it also is really core hungry. So the fact you're getting 3 damage for a total of like 5 cores, and you can use it one time, or I guess 2 times with 5 cores, like that's just. It's just a bad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. That looks like it looks like excuse me. That looks like cell bait.
So we finally unlocked Prospero's flying, which is great because now he
goddamn train.
Yeah, train. Another train. But anyway, we unlocked Prospero's flying, which is great. That's his killer feature now finally came online, which means he can now move over buildings and also over enemies, which means that even with his with his default of 5 movement, from the center of the map, he can reach pretty much anywhere. So what we're gonna do here, the only one threatening is that Firefly. So I think we'll just kill the Firefly. We will we'll probably want to have. Well, we could kill. No, we can't kill the beetle. We could kill the Scion, but then we couldn't block twice. I think it's much better for us to block.
You definitely want to also push while you're over there to limit the Scarab's maneuverability for the next round.
Yeah, the only 1, 2, 3. My only concern is that he moves here, and then targets one of these buildings. But I could just move the Artie, so yeah, we're fine. I
mean, my big problem would be him moving one and then targeting the train, but that has an obvious solution to it. Okay,
right,
or that, you know, that's fine.
So
you're gonna be an idiot.
I think what we're gonna do. Now we could use Prospero to shove him, and then we can get 3 blocks in next turn, or we can kill the beetle and still get 3 blocks. And the question is the Scarab going to be better or worse than anything we don't block? So
Scarab is generally low threat. Like if a Hornet came up, I would be a lot more scared of that than I would the beetle personally.
You know what I'm actually thinking I'm going to do?
My dog is woofing. I'm gonna let him in.
We won't tell Tim. What's that achievement? Oh, that's for blocking a ton of it. Good for us. Alright, we're left with an Alpha Scarab and a Scorpion. And none of this is really that threatening. So, On our
And I'm
last,
back.
On our last turn, we've got an alpha scarab and a scorpion. None of those are particularly threatening because we have a choice. Do we want to kill the alpha scarab or the
I mean, the alpha
scorpion?
scarab is the one that's actually threatening something.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is, since Genos, the arty guy, is already max XP, I'm going to let I'd prefer Prospero get the kill, but the problem is that I can't move Prospero over there. So I think what we'll do... Now that won't work either. I think we'll shove the alpha.
Dude, just drop your smoke bomb.
Yeah, but then the XP gets split, and so we waste XP. So I think I'm going to let Zoe get the XP.
Alright. The Vec has been recycled. Prospero is Vector Man. Confirmed.
Alright, was that last map for RSC, or we got one more?
No, you got one more.
Alright, so do you want to block Vex spawning or kill 7 enemies with seismic activity? So this map is kind of fun in that the map just randomly collapses, and killing 7 enemies is kind of fun, but block Vex spawning is super easy, and they both have the same reward. So I think for entertainment value, we're going to go to seismic activity because it's fun. And we have 2 flying
It is pretty hilarious to watch.
So we'll put the flying units over here, and we're going to keep the arty in the back because, as you will see, he will very quickly run out of space to move. Oh, I thought it was the one where it drops from the...
I think you were... Yeah, I think we both got it mixed up with Cataclysm. Cataclysm is the one that drops it off.
Yeah, so the Firefly is not attacking, which is great, I guess. So I think what we'll do is we'll kill the regular Firefly, and then we'll... No, we don't want to move to block too much because we really... Killing 7 enemies. We're going to have Zoe drop on the Scion because that will kill the Scion. And then it'll be 2 kills, and then we'll have 2 the following turn. Block or not? Block or not?
Probably don't want to block this early on.
Yeah,
like you need bodies on here.
I
just do the damage.
Yeah, I just shove to get the 1 damage off the alpha.
Spider. That's really unfortunate.
Now, I don't know if those little spiders count as kills. That's more unfortunate.
That is a good question.
So
I'm gonna guess no.
The only real threat is this alpha. So I think what we'll do is if we could kill the spider and then have Zoe kill the egg, and then have Zoe kill the spider, and then now we can't drop the arty there. He'll die.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what we do...
The best thing you could do is have Artie annihilate that freaking alpha Firefly, probably.
Yeah, I think that's the best move. And now we will shove... Well, what we can do is we can still take out the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can still take out the egg and the spider. So I think that's what we'll do. Like so.
Down you go.
That leaves us with 4 kills, and we're gonna... Oh man, next turn is gonna be pretty busy.
Yep, next turn's gonna get hot. Okay, that could have been a hell of a lot worse of a spawn.
My daughter is kind of upset at the moment. If she continues to be upset, you may need to take over for me.
I can handle commentary for a while. I don't think I can control from here.
Well, that's not very nice, Tim.
Just saying, man. Just saying.
All right, so we've got Firefly threatening the building. We've got Scarab threatening the jet. I think to maximize... Man, this is going to be tough.
This isn't that bad, actually. Like, check it.
Yeah, I might have to burn my smoke bomb.
Like, if you have Prospero shove the Alpha Firefly, that's gonna kill him. And hold on. Could you review attack order, please? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Environment acts first, so you shove the Firefly. That's gonna kill him before he can act and destroy those batteries. Then, like that takes care of the one true threat. You can have Zoe jump the Scorpion that she's on. That practically kills it and sets it up for a final turn. And you can have Artie kill pretty much like basically you block and then kill the Alpha Scarab.
Yeah.
Boom. Like that'll give you that'll make for a pretty sedate last turn.
Yeah, that's pretty wise right there. So that's exactly what we'll do.
Too bad for that Scorpion.
Yeah, we're good. Goodbye.
See you later, shitlord.
The elevator is out of order. Alright, so last turn and we're fine.
Yeah, this
So
is
what we're
not a
gonna
big
do
deal.
is-
Boom! Get fucked, nerds.
Yeah, the kill enemies objective can range from trivial to impossible depending on what you roll and what the map throws at you. But that was not too bad at all.
Yeah, that could have been a hell of a lot worse.
All right,
Hornet Leader.
so-
That's not great.
Yeah, Hornet Leader is I would say, I think the Goo is my most hated. Or no, or maybe the Spider. I don't know. I hate them all. I hate them all except for the Beetle. Scorpion can... Okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want Scorpion to grab anyone. So we're going to move everyone just out of range of the Scorpion. And Beetle can threaten either the corporate tower or that grid. And so...
I would move Artie to D6? D6. I would move Artie to D6. That should allow Artie to respond to basically anything that happens.
Yeah, you're right. Now, I think since Artie can cover the Scarab, I'm going to leave Prospero over here. On the off chance that the Scorpion doesn't... Okay, yeah, that's good.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, that went fine. Well, we can block. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, if I want to maximize, he's got 6 hit points, right? He's got 6. Okay, so
Yeah, it was more or less exactly my thought.
yeah, it's I prefer to have. We didn't get any kills that turn, which means we're going to be up 1 next turn, but they'll be pretty wounded. So I think.
I mean, we don't have a quota for kills this time. Getting such a hard hit in on the leader on the first turn is pretty damn important.
All right, so we're going to ignore this scare. We're going to go after the ones that actually matter. So turn order here 1. So I think we're going to let the Hornet live for now, so he can deal with that Scorpion.
Yeah.
And that will let us. Do I want to? Man, that oh, he's got a 3 tower range. That's deadly, man. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll block up here, No, we don't want to do that. We want to block. We'll leave the arty over there to take care of that scare. And then we're gonna. Man, do I want to block?
I would definitely, if you're gonna only have one block, I would definitely do the block on F3 versus C1, simply because C1 is so much more remote on the map.
Yeah. I think that works. Tactical efficiency optimized.
No, it was a scion. Damn it.
Well, I mean,
that's annoying.
We've still got.
You kind of need to kill the hornet this turn.
Yeah, I do. So what we're gonna do? If I shove him into the water, Artie can kill the hornet. And then the jet will kill the scion and not block, or block. I'll have the scion.
Yeah, just block it. Like, the scion's not going to have anything to heal.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do.
Or buff, rather.
And then we'll just have Zoe stay right where she is.
Great one, Firefly. I'm really glad you're welcome to die.
Yeah. That'll work.
What a freaking idiot!
And that's the island. So we are now 40% done with this run, and I'm gonna.
Oh, hey, Zoe's from Detritus.
I'm gonna have another beer.
I'm just finishing mine.
All right. So this is another can of the fresh haze, which is really, really good. It's so juicy.
I might go for a bottle of the Dark Truth next.
So here's what we're gonna do. While we're in the.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. While we're shopping, I don't want Will. We'll just grab Donna. While we're shopping, I'm gonna run and check on my daughter. Why don't you tell them a bit about the next island, maybe?
Okay, so yeah, the next island is Pinnacle. It is the home of all of the robots, including Ghana, the robot we just picked up, and our crazy looking AI robot in the bottom center, whose name I'm forgetting right now. I'm gonna be honest, kind of forgettable dude. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's a very cold place. Its entire gimmick is that it is super cold, and there are sentient machines. There are some ambiguously helpful units that spawn a lot, and while they frequently have very few hit points, they have insane damage. The most notable one, excuse me, the most notable one would be a laser beam enemy or robot that can fire through everything on the axis that it's aiming at. So if it fires along the alpha axis and it's on rank A, it's going to shoot through about 6-7 different tiles, and it does 3 damage. Count them, 3 to literally everything it penetrates. It's insane. Like, it is absolutely balls out insane. So yeah, like those robots are fantastic when they are your ally, not so much when they're your enemy. And the quote unquote CEO of Pinnacle is an AI, is like a chief AI that looks a little bit like Zordon. And Zordon is very, very, very bad at his/her job in this freaking game. Like, just incredibly bad. It's just like, hey, everything's malfunctioning. Don't worry, I'll bring it back under control. After you've dealt with all of the Vec. Great, thanks. Now, while we're dealing with that, we have freaking a bunch of killer robots coming after us, and a massive blizzard, like, freezing everything out. Like, really wish Zordon was a little bit better at their job. Like, please.
So I'm gonna say, I'm back, by the way.
Hi.
I don't care about Ghana's stupid grid defense, but Zoe's doesn't matter either. So,
Well, yeah, Zoe got grid defense, which is just gross.
so I think I'm gonna dump Zoe. 'Cause we don't want her.
I would if I were you.
And then, well, we can trade. We can buy 3 cores, and then we can trade smoke bomb for one of these. Grappling hook is very useful. Target a strike is also very useful, but I don't think either of them really outweigh smoke bomb at this stage.
What do we have on sale there? I missed that.
Smoke mortar.
Oh, smoke mortar,
which is not really that useful.
Yeah, that looks a lot better than it actually is, even with the rusting hulks.
It's just too situational. We already have lots of smoke, so
yeah, that's not great.
On the other hand, like buying grid is pointless, but I think, well,
I mean, your alternative is like basically you could drop off kickoff boosters.
Yeah, and trading that for smoke pellets might actually be really useful, because even more smoke.
And like you not like part of the deal here is that you're getting to the point where you have enough what are they called, cores excuse me, cores that you have upgraded most people's move, and the rusting hulk's a pretty good move to begin with. Like Artie is pretty much the only one that has bad move out of the gate.
So I think now here's the thing about smoke pellets. I wonder if ally immune means that it doesn't drop smoke on an ally, or you simply become immune to smoke. I think it's the former.
I'm pretty sure it's the former.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the former.
So,
which just means that you don't want to do that.
Grappling hook is really great for Pinnacle and also for the end game, because you can shield those bonus objectives. So I'm kind of leaning toward grappling hook.
I'd probably go with smoke pellets if I were you, but your playstyle has always been a little bit different from mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the hook, and then we're gonna put the hook on the jet. We're gonna give the jet. Ooh,
that's a cool move.
We're going to let the. Well, I don't know. Let me think about that for a minute, because Ghana can already apply shield to friendly, but then again, that's 1 core for shield. So I think what we're gonna do, since he's already got his damage boost, we're gonna.
Yeah, I mean the primary thing you want to make sure you do is I would definitely roll that way.
Yeah. All right, on to Pinnacle. Pinnacle's got a
bonus
bonus
Zordon.
Here.
Later, Zordon. You kind of suck at your job.
So that's I prefer this not be a single reward mission, but on the other hand, if you look, all the reputation missions are over here, so we're going to go that way anyway.
Yeah, you can't get around that.
So Pinnacle is definitely so within the game you only have to complete 2 of the islands to go to the end game, and then you can choose whether or not you want to go to islands 3 and 4. If you choose to go to islands 3 and 4, you start getting the difficulty steep is the difficulty hike is pretty steep with Pinnacle, and you'll start seeing where you'll see that we start with 3 alphas on the map at once, and by the time we make it to Detritus, usually all of the starting Vec will be alphas, and so by that point you really need to have your damage output in order. Okay, this Scorpion can move up here. We're gonna put Jet up there to incapacitate Scorpion. Artie can stay in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you definitely want Artie on E6.
Yeah, and then for Sparrow, it doesn't matter as much. We'll leave him right there.
You have to remove the bugs, yes. And Mian, this game in particular is pretty cool, simply because it is it is made by the same guys who made FTL, and one of the primary problems with FTL was that yes, certainly, I'm sure every game that you had there was fundamentally solvable and it's fundamentally winnable. But the problem always was that you did not have the information that you needed to make the decisions that you needed to make, right? So like that was a serious problem with FTL. Very few people actually said that, but that was a criticism that came out when the game was newer, and it's still something that gets said about the game occasionally. Most people don't want to criticize it because they say it's a good game, and it is a good game. But that's the deal. The thing is that the developers were cool enough that they listened to and acknowledged that criticism, and this game is a direct answer to that problem, because like all of the information that you need to make really high quality decisions in this game is right in front of you. Like, you know exactly what attack order is going to be. You have you know exactly what the enemies are going to do ahead of time. You have all the time you need to think to solve the puzzle that's in front of you.
Yeah.
And as a result, I absolutely love this game. I really can't gush enough about it. I think it is an absolute masterwork of game design and game development. I absolutely can't say enough good things about this game. I fucking love it.
Yeah, there's very little RNG in this game. The only RNG that matters on the actual mission maps are it's random what Vec is going to come up when it emerges. I do think it's weighted. Like the number of spawns is going to go down if you have too many Vec on the map. There's a maximum that can be there, and I think if there's a Scion already, it will not spawn an additional Scion, so it's weighted. But what Vec comes up is random, and then whether or not a grid damage is resisted is also random. Though that's a preset seed, so you can't reset turn to try and re-roll that. It either it's going to happen or it's not. I believe that's the case.
GG.
So this has been pretty easy. You'll see that grappling hook was very handy, because in the first turn, I was able to pull
you just pulled that. Yeah, you just pulled that freaking centipede right onto the ice mine. Now he's just out of the game for the rest of the map, unless he gets freed, which, surprise, surprise, that's not happening.
Yeah, so this is last turn. So already hogs all the XP. You'll notice he's been maxed since the first map. I might want to swap out those pilots so that these guys can get leveled up. We're getting close.
If you do, you might want to shift around power to make sure that Artie's movement is funded, because one of the reasons Artie has been as effective as he has is because his random pilot gained mech move.
Yeah, that's a good point. But so what did Prospero? So Prospero picked up move. So if Prospero doesn't have grid defense, he will be our go-to pilot for the next many squads.
Yeah. And not holy buckets. Not just that. He makes ideal to move it in there. Yeah.
But then we lose flying on the science mech, and that's so powerful.
It is powerful, but it's gonna be even more powerful on Artie.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go. So you need. Oh, you know what? He doesn't have reactor though, so that means.
Dude, he's got one spare reactor. You can. Oh no, wait, no, he doesn't. Never mind.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move Prospero into the jet, and we're gonna leave Genos here until we pick up another core. That's still not ideal.
That still kind of sucks though. It wastes. I think you just need to leave it as it is until you get another core.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, so
make sure you reapply that stuff.
Yeah, that's too bad, but okay. Defend the robot. So this is where having that shielding grapple hook is really nice.
Can we fund the shield grab? Never mind, it's fine.
It's already turned on.
Oh, it's already turned on? Okay, my
Yeah,
mistake.
you only need one core to turn on the shield, which is great.
I was too busy talking about Zordon to pay attention to your loadout.
I think, man, this is a really bad map configuration for Artie.
I mean, having the blobber is going to be a giant problem. You're going to need to destroy that blobber like first turn.
Yeah, and I think because of the blobber, I'm not going to put anyone orthogonal to the building so that he doesn't see. Oh, I can get 2 for 1 here.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do? No, because then he could blob up there. I think this is no.
There's no ideal situation here. I'm quickly realizing.
Yeah. All right, so for those watching, we're probably each turn is going to get a little bit slower from now on because it's going to take us a lot longer to figure out the correct move. Now, we can Artie can dispatch any one of these guys, but we also got smoke bombs, so don't forget about that. And we absolutely must deal with both of these centipedes. This is not a straightforward.
Wow.
Turn.
Yeah, this is a rough first turn.
I think.
Will that actually disable the blob's detonation?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I think what we'll do, we're going to use Artie to kill the blobber because he's going to always be a threat. Then we'll smoke bomb and
Right on the threatened city.
well, that's what I was thinking. Smoke bomb here, but then we still have the centipede down there that we haven't dealt with. And so even if we smoke bomb there, we're still left with. I think we're gonna have to. We'll have Prospero block and then smoke bomb these 3. We'll use Artie to destroy the blob's spawn and take out the blob, and then smoke the centipede. Because the only one that's not threatening us
Is that one hornet?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's what we do, like so.
My gun shoots bitcoins. I am in love with that name, dude. Wow, that actually. I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew that that it did that. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, there's no unit can take action in smoke. That includes like the terraformer. So be warned.
I suppose it doesn't make any difference anyway because the electric storm was going to kill it.
All right, let's see. So now we've got.
That centipede is that centipede is not a problem. You can literally just shove it. It'll cancel its attack. It'll block, and like Bob's your uncle there.
Yeah. So we just need to deal with.
This is an easy turn.
Yeah,
this
so
isn't
I think
bad.
What we do here. So the real debate is whether I want to move Artie here or here for the kill. I think here is better. So he can finish off the centipede next turn for us.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then the jet will deal with that centipede.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's ideal there. Yeah, that was a lot of bugs. It is no longer a lot of bugs.
Yeah, this map turned around really freaking quick.
We now have control of the map, which means we're gonna move Prospero up there, kill the centipede.
GG, nerd.
And make sure Prospero repairs, and then last turn with Alpha Scarab, a regeneration sign on the last turn. That'll help.
The scorpion freezes his own dumb ass.
Yep.
Oh,
Brilliant.
fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
Good work, idiot.
Yep.
Whew, that was a rough first turn that turned into a cakewalk right afterward.
So I don't know for sure, but I think that the AI is not allowed to like be aware of of where like mines and stuff are. So all right, now we can make Prospero go hop in.
I'm gonna get my second beer. Be back in 2 seconds.
We still don't have enough reactor for that. That is super annoying. All right. So you know what? We even with it.
Dos Equis or Fat Tire, like definitely grab Fat Tire of those two. But I'm a dark and heavy beer man. Like Dos Ex doesn't do much for me just because it's a lager.
Fat Tire definitely. I mean,
Fat Tire, man.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
So I'm looking at our pilot configuration here. Even with an additional core, we still don't have enough cores to keep the damage of Artie and also let it be flying. So
damage of Artie and also let it be flying.
The only way to do that is to turn off Storm Generator. So I think we.
That's really unfortunate.
I think what I'll do is I'll give the Artie more movement for now, and then we'll come back to it later, because we really are gonna want these guys to get their last level before the island ends.
Freeze and defend both robots.
This should be pretty easy because this is one of the. I mentioned at the very beginning that there's some maps where you get some support, and there's more on Archive than on others. And on this map, you get this little guy right here who's a freeze tank that he has pretty decent movement. He cannot do any damage, and he only has 1 hit point, so he can't be used to block or defend. But he can freeze anyone that he hits, and once they're frozen, they stay frozen for the rest of the map as long as no one else damages them. We have no one that can grab, so I think actually I'm going to put the jet here, put the Artie in up here, and then probably Prospero on the side.
I'd probably put Artie further back personally, but you know this is fine. This is good. Time pod.
He'll skate up on the ice back here.
Yeah, I remember how I was talking specifically about that one freaking robot that had a freaking laser on it, and it did like an insane amount of damage to everything in front of it. Yeah, that's the dude with two things right there.
Oh man, that doesn't work, does it?
You just fucked yourself, my friend.
Did I?
Oh no, wait, no, you didn't. Grappling hook. Never mind. You're galaxy braining better than I am.
I'm getting pretty tipsy at this point too, so.
All right, where's the laser go? Okay, cool. The laser is in a place where you can freeze him out and not worry about him. Yeah, this is looking pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, wifey.
Are you streaming still?
Yeah.
She's screaming.
I'm going to bounce her for a while.
I did.
Okay, well let's give her the 10 minutes, and then we'll have to pick her up again.
Daughter not sleeping great?
No, she has a cold, so she's not doing so
Yup.
good.
Poor thing.
All right, let's try and wrap this up real quick then. Okay, so we're going to freeze the other robot, get that out of the way. We're going to...
Nobody else is a threat right now.
I think that's it, yeah.
Boy, a normal Hornet. God, we are freaking lucking out with when it comes to spawns and shit this round.
I think if I have to go take care of Ellie, what I'm going to do is we'll wrap this up at the third island and just and end the game. We'll go to the
and we'll pick it up next time. No big deal.
So. Been a quiet map. We got nothing to do.
Yeah, like this is positively peaceful. This is not normal. Idiots. I will be sure to restore their programming. It was my fault they got screwed up to begin with. Archimedes.
Archimedes is actually a really decent pilot. He's
No, I'm a big fan of Archimedes.
yeah. The big advantage he can use is he can shoot and then go block, and that's very powerful.
Block Vex spawning and get people and break out of ice. That's no big deal.
Yeah, the problem is that that's the same thing with destroying the mountains and also killing 7 enemies. Is that split focus is really difficult to keep up.
You're gonna start with 4 Vec on the field right away. What you do is you place your people further back than you normally would. So put them on like the 7 line or the 6 line. Force the Vec to target stuff to start out with, and then you can go from there.
So we've got 3 alpha. And then a lame-ass hornet. So our positioning is kind of tight, though. So what I'm going to do is, so normally I mentioned how like where you position yourself at the start of the map impacts what decisions the AI will make, and you want to make it so that the AI doesn't see, oh, they can get a 2-for-1. We're going to do the opposite here. We're going to let them think they can get a 2-for-1 to bait them into going for the buildings. So to that end, we're going to make sure that someone is here. And that centipede will probably go for one of these 3.
Definitely, yeah.
And then we don't want, though, both the centipede and the hornet to target this. So if we go, like, maybe right here with the arty, hornet will want to come attack here. And then we'll prevent the hornet from double attacking by going here. And we'll see how that works.
Oh, that made things a little bit more complicated.
No, it's fine. The centipede did what we wanted.
Yeah, no,
to
that's
do.
fine. That ended up working out fantastic.
So we're going
Centipede's going to do a lot of work for you.
Yeah, we're going to ignore the centipede and the scarab because they are doing exactly what we want them to do. We're going to take care of... Let's see, we'll probably move... So, I would say right here, the hornet.
Booyah.
And then we will... So this hornet is kind of harmless, except that he can, like, go fuck off up here. And then, you know, we're kind of defenseless. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to Prospero block here, and we are going to deal with this hornet this turn rather than waiting.
Okay.
And that seems pretty good, because we'll achieve 1 spawn block and 3 buildings broken out of ice on the first turn. Looks like my daughter is calming down.
Blobber. Ooh, that's complicated.
All right, so what happened?
Not that bad, though.
I was looking at my nanny cam. What do we got going on? So we've got the blobber. We can ignore the scarab. We need to deal with the centipede. We need to deal with the blob, and the blobber itself is not threatening, but that's always the case. So I think what we're gonna do, actually, we're gonna get rid of the blobber with the jet, and then we're gonna shove the centipede 1 over so he takes out this building.
So he breaks something out of the ice. That was exactly the solution that I was seeing.
Then we'll block with Artie and kill the blobber.
Yep. I concur. I wholeheartedly concur.
I think we'll want to do this first, otherwise the blobber will be out of position.
Boom.
There we go.
That'll get us the Vex spawning, and now we only need to break 1 thing out of the ice, which, worst case scenario, we can do with Artie. Not going to be the worst case scenario.
I think the centipede's going to win the map for us, so we can... Man, which centipede do we ignore? Both? 1? Okay. So we'll go... We're going to have these 2 swap position. And Prospero needs to heal. And then we're going to block the last spawn.
Yeah, so you can deal with 2 centipedes on the last turn. That is not the end of the world.
Alright, so 5 and 5. So I think we'll just actually, you know what though? If I just shove him, I'm pretty sure that if his projectile hits the edge of the map, it just counts as hitting the edge of the map. So I actually have to smoke him rather than try and do anything else.
It doesn't really matter anyway.
It doesn't.
Like you also still had the smoke airdrop.
Oh yeah,
like,
I did,
like,
that's right. Yeah, I could have
like
shot
this
him
was
and smoked him.
this was negative a problem.
Oh.
Hey, Bethany again. It's like a shittier version of Bethany too.
Yeah, it is. It's a 3 grid defense bed. Like, you should have just stayed inside the pod.
Seriously. Well, at least now she'll stay on Pinnacle, and that'll give us another 2 rep. That'll be great.
So one thing is that now, he's got reactor as well. I think I'm gonna give Archimedes to let the jet take Archimedes, and then shield friendly, it becomes more powerful the longer you go on, and you have like these massive swarms of alphas. So
I mean, shield friendly is going to be practically required on the final mission.
So the other thing though is Prospero still has no XP. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna move Archimedes here. We're gonna get Prospero some more XP by stuffing him into the Arty. We'll let the jet be able to take some damage, I guess. But it doesn't really matter. We hardly ever tank with the jet. And hey, I wonder what happens if you're double flying.
Probably nothing.
I think that's the ideal config there.
I would definitely agree with that. Health, like you said earlier, is nice, but it's rarely critical.
Now,
Movement, however, is frequently critical.
Shield friendly is useful, but it's more like in detritus it's useful. So I'm gonna do shield self instead, because then he can block anything, and since he's also fire and forget, it means that he can go shove, generate a shield, and then go move somewhere else to block.
Do note you need to power fire and forget, and you currently haven't done that.
I think my beers are finally kicking in.
Fortunately, even though how strong are your beers? What's your ABV? What's your ABV at?
7%.
My first one was 12%. My current one is 9.7. Of course, like you said, you're tiny. I'm 6'4" and 200 pounds. So I've got a lot of places to put my alcohol.
We need to take a brief intermission. My daughter needs my attention. So
absolutely.
So how about you chat up these guys for a minute while I go.
Oh God, it's the Scion Abomination.
Yeah, if you can figure out a way to take over the map, go right ahead. Otherwise, I'll be back in probably about 10 minutes.
All right, cool. So, friends, what does this? What does the Scion Abomination do? So we've seen a number of Scions so far. There's one that regenerates enemy health. There's one that gives everybody 1 extra health. There's one that gives them armor. The Scion Abomination is Goku and does all of the above. So the folks that are all of these enemies that we're looking at right here will be regenerating 1 health per turn, have 1 more health than they normally should, and be armored. And armored means that they take 1 less damage from from all attacks. So Artie is currently our heavy hitter, and and does 4 damage. They will do 5. They will do 3 damage against all of these enemies, except the Abomination himself. So let's see here. Our overall goal is to take out the abomination, and we have a centipede, a scorpion, and a hornet. The big benefit that we have is that the cities themselves are really well spread out here, like really very well spread out. So absent anything that we do, the centipede is going to move to the D rank and start taking pot shots at the two cities at the 8 rank. So that's going to be what's going to happen there. The other things that will happen, the Hornet is either going to attack the city at C5 or C3, probably C5. The Hornet prefers to use his movement when he can. And the Scorpion is almost certainly going to assault F4. And in case you're not aware, you can look at the left side of the screen and the bottom of the screen to see the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ranks that we have to basically address this words hard. This map. It works a little bit like algebraic notation in a chessboard, actually. So, like, if you're moving a pawn to a specific thing, you might just say E4. Anyway, so that's absent any of our deployments. That's going to be what's going to happen. The abomination himself will move pseudo randomly. Like he's probably going to move towards the center. It's rare that it moves towards the edges, but it kind of just does whatever the hell it wants because it doesn't have any attacks of its own. So what we would want to do is try to influence the enemy's attacks in such a way that it is less annoying. And with the cities the way they currently are, I don't think that that's actually possible. Like pretty much what they're going to do is relatively ideal. The centipede hitting or attacking on the D rank, he's probably going to move to either D3 or D4 and launch an acid strike from there. And then the Hornet will prefer to use his movement when he can. We'll put him at D5. That allows us to deploy some smoke to cancel out the both of them. That handles the push mech's turn. The jet mech can then cancel out whatever the hell the Scorpion is doing, which leaves the artillery mech free to shoot at the abomination, which is probably the best thing we can do in our original turn. Because the abomination really needs to die. The abomination really needs to die early because he buffs up the enemies so incredibly hard. The next thing that's going to happen, obviously, is we're going to have a bunch of enemies spawning, and I'm not certain we're going to be able to get a whole bunch of blocks off because the spawns are going to happen primarily on the 1 and 2 ranks on the numerical axis. We might see one on the 3 rank, but I find that unlikely. And if that happens, you're going to end up with probably pretty close to everybody on at least 3 rank. Like the centipede would be the primary one that you would see hanging out on the 3 rank. The Hornet's going to move. Scorpion will probably also prefer to use more versus less of their movement. So that's kind of how I see that shaking out. Honestly, like with the centipede's overall expected movement, I would probably drop the science mech down on D6 to basically confirm for him, yes, this is the move I want you to make. With any luck, that will also cause the Hornet to double down and move closer to E5. And if the no, that's actually not right. The Hornet will end up moving to B5 to make his move there if the Centipede is making his attack along the D rank. So that would be non-ideal. So actually, that's probably not what I would do. Here's the idea. You place the science mech on C6. That will cause the Centipede to do what it is he's going to do. He's going to launch an acid attack along the D rank. But the Hornet will move to C4 to get a twofer. He's going to see, hey, I can attack the city and I can attack the science unit. That's going to place them all in a cross that you could drop the smoke bombs on. And while we said we'll try not to use the smoke bombs early, placing the smoke bombs right there in the middle that's pretty darn strong. Like that for the rest of the map, that denies the E4 line to attack one of our major cities. So we're controlling the center very, very, very well with that first move. So yeah, I would probably place science on C6, and then jet moves pretty well. So probably something like E5. Probably something like E5. I would need to double check the Scorpion's overall movement radius, and then Artie should probably get placed like well out of the way. The primary consideration for Artie is that he is in a spot where no matter where the Scion Abomination moves, he can attack. Excuse me. So that's probably going to be something like F7 or E6, or I'm sorry, F7 or E7. So that would give Artie enough movement range that pretty much no matter where the Abomination is going to hit, that then you have the time to do it. Though that is basically like the long form of the entire thought process that goes into your initial positioning for a lot of these things, because like Soul said early on, it is tempting to think that your early positioning doesn't really matter that much, but the alternate way to look at it is that this is the time that you are going to have the most control over the map's positioning for the rest of these 5 turns. You are never going to have more control than you have right now. So being able to say something like, "Hey, if I deploy something to C6, I know exactly where that Hornet is going to go, and if I don't present a simple target on the D rank, that is exactly where that Centipede is going to go." So like these are the sorts of considerations that you come into, and this also goes back to what I was talking about earlier in terms of excuse me, what I was talking about earlier in terms of why this game is a direct answer to the stuff that you saw in FTL. All of the information is here. Is it immediately graspable? Not necessarily. But if you look at it for long enough, you understand how to articulate these things into a coherent narrative and a coherent sentence. Suddenly all of this stuff starts coming together, and you're able to predict and handle these things way better than you otherwise would. None of this was true in FTL. In FTL, it wasn't even clear if a jump from one particular star to another was going to be valid until you got there. It was really actually very frustrating. And the heresy with me, I didn't like FTL that much, precisely because it hid so much information from me like that. But I'm sure somebody is going to find that and burn me at the stake for daring to impugn the good name of FTL, but you know, there it is. What else? There was something else that I wanted to say on this, and now I am forgetting. Bled. Yeah, I am forgetting how that happens. I've never played it. Yeah, well, at this point, I don't feel like you need to.
All right.
Welcome back. So basically, what I was saying is that the centipede is probably going to launch an attack on the D rank up to C8 and D8 if you don't give him another opportunity. But if you place any mech, I would recommend any mech on C6. The Hornet is probably going to go for a twofer, which leaves you at a wonderful opportunity to drop your smoke bombs early to cancel out both of their attacks on the first turn, and control the center at E4, which is going to be really important for those cities. That takes care of two of those things and leaves you with enough actions left to attack the Scion Abomination on your first turn.
Yeah. So.
Oh shoot! I also actually said it wrong. The Scion Abomination doesn't give people armored. It gives them volatile, which means they fucking explode when they die.
Yeah. So that said, I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna have. Okay, we've got the Scorpion, so we're gonna put Jet right here to kind of bait that Hornet. We're gonna put Artie down here, and then hopefully that, like, having them 2x2 like this, or like 1x3, that should hopefully bait at least one of them, maybe even two. And then we'll put. Well, this isn't flying anymore, so I can't go over this. So
I would actually put Artie further back, like on the 7 rank, simply so it is guaranteed able to respond to whatever the Abomination does, and you can shoot at it. Whatever, we're deployed. We're gonna rock and roll.
Yeah, my daughter's not having a good night because she's got a cold, so we're
taking turns
trying to soothe her.
Yeah, darn it.
That's actually not too bad because
it could be worse.
Since they all stayed near their starting positions, it means like they're not up here fucking with the tower, which is fine. And I think.
Well, you can't safely take a shot at the Abomination this turn. That's the real problem here.
But you know what I can do? What I can do is, let's see. Fire and Forget is powered on him. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna let. Is it? Yes. Okay. Okay, yeah. Not a lot of great options. So, is that Scorpion a bigger threat, or...
Nice.
I think that's the best option. Especially because they still have that grappling. Well, so that Abomination is, we don't have to worry about it anymore. It will die before the end of the map. That Alpha is a big problem. The Hornet, I think what we'll do is...
Yeah. And then just have, yup. God bless Artie, man.
So, yeah, one thing to know also, Shield also defends from fire. So the weird thing about it is, if you have a shield, you can safely walk on or through fire and be okay. If you're already on fire and you get a shield, you remain on fire. So...
Sure, why not?
keeping a close
You're probably
eye
gonna
on
catch
those
on
Grogu.
fire after the spawn, though. But you know, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I think he might. Did he?
Yeah,
he did.
no, he totally caught fire.
That's all right.
Whatever,
That's
it's
all right.
fine. It's not a big deal. It's not a big
Alright,
deal.
so we've got... Okay, we got to deal with that scorpion. 2 turns left. Abomination's dealt with. We can...
Boom. He's gonna explode!
Yeah, we'll just we'll have to go back
Yeah.
on that one. So I think the only option then is... Man, okay, so probably... Shove the scorpion, I guess? Yeah, we'll shove the scorpion. Or, actually, if we smoke bomb up here, well, so then what's going to happen is he's just going to attack right here next turn, so it's not helping me out a whole lot. This is not as straightforward as it looks on this one. So I think what we'll do...
Archimedes does have fire and forget all-star.
I think I see a solution.
Forcing him to attack those 2 cities is far from the end of the world, actually.
Yeah, so the thing is, though, is that he'll be on fire, which means he'll have 1 hit point and be on fire next turn, which means his only choice will be to repair. So we're going to move him off.
Sure, yeah, I feel like that's fair. You could go into the water to... hold on. You could go into the water to put out the fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, the all-star just reminded me of that. Good call, dude.
So this one looks like a freebie. We're fine. What we'll do is we got 1, 2, 3. We will shove him, and then we will kill
Murder him.
and we will kill him.
GG.
All right, moving on to detritus, which means that we've still taken only 1 grid damage throughout the entire
Back
game.
to side.
Which is super annoying because like that grid damage was in like the first or second map, wasn't it?
It was literally the first map, and there was literally nothing you could do about it.
Yeah. All right, so let's. Well, we got so many extra pilots. Let's.
Yeah, no, we we can definitely get rid of
Grid defense,
Bethany.
grid defense,
Bethany
grid
has
defense.
fucking
Look at
grid
that.
defense. Get rid of that. Like nobody
Goodbye.
needs that.
Goodbye.
nonsense.
Goodbye. We're left. Man, we got so many. Okay, so we'll grab 4 cores because why not? That's such a.
Mechs use bonus. Let's not and say we did, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. The missile barrage is not too bad.
And it's pretty power hungry for what it does.
Yeah, that's like 3 cores for doing 2 damage 1 time. It's like it can be nice on, especially like on goo and spider maps, but I don't think.
Confused shot. No, that one's super situational.
Really, none of
prime
these are
class.
great.
You don't have a prime.
So I'm just gonna go for grid because none of these are worth swapping out.
Yeah, no, I'm not feeling feeling real inspired by a lot of that stuff.
So we've got 4 cores left, and we're already in really good shape. Like we don't. There's no.
Real talk, you probably want to overpower the storm generator, dude. Like that's a lot of damage you're talking about there.
Yeah, Well, the problem is we can't do that unless we move Archimedes or Genos in there. So why don't we move, Fire and Forget. Let's move Genos back into the Arty. Because that's the only way we can get enough into this thing. And it doesn't need, we don't really need health on it anyway.
Not really, no.
So we'll put Prospero back into the science mech,
Pulse
which is
back.
where the flying actually matters. And we'll give him his flying back. So it leaves us with 2 cores left. Shield friendly is very nice, which we also have on the grappling hook. Fire and forget, though, I think trumps that.
I would definitely agree the fire and forget trumps that. Also, the +1 range on the aerial bombs, like, that's pretty important.
Yeah, especially for the massive waves of alphas we're about to get.
Yeah.
It's like a defensive versus an offensive. Usually offensive is going to be better. But the shield friendly is also very powerful.
Shield friendly is very powerful, but it's going to be most important on the final mission rather than detritus. Detritus has a lot of terrain that you can use to help you out with that.
All right, so let's move on to detritus. Disposal unit. That is.
Disposal unit.
Go.
Oh, buddy.
I think you should take a quick second to explain how awesome the disposal unit is.
Okay, so the disposal unit, basically every turn, you are going to be able to target a cross area, by which I mean, like, you target one thing and then it hits the 4 tiles adjacent to it. And when you fire the disposal unit's thing at that cross, it utterly destroys everything in that cross. Doesn't matter if it's a mountain. Doesn't matter if it's an alpha with full hit points. It dies. It's amazing.
All right, so I want to bait these hornets into attacking me rather than the buildings because there's 2 of them, and that can be super annoying. And they explode on death too, so we got to be aware of that. The alphas
probably what'll happen is you'll use the disposal unit to just get rid of the scion on the first turn.
Yeah. My second beer is about empty.
Okay.
So I think what's the rate? So either of these I think is a good move because those hornets are not threatening a building. But the scion will continue to be a problem until I deal with it, and the crabs are not threatening anything else. However, he can deal with the scion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it on the crabs, and also take out one of the mountains while I'm at it because I have to do that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're basically going to have to spend at least 2 turns handling the mountains. So getting one while it's convenient is probably not a bad idea.
So there. Now here's the thing. Remember I mentioned that smoke incapacitates everything? It incapacitates everything, including, for instance, the acid launcher. If I were to do this right here, the acid launcher would be disabled for the rest of the mission. So you have to be very cognizant of that. I think what I'm going to do... I can't do that. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think what I will do is this: kill the scion, then use our pulley to reposition the hornet, and then we're just gonna, bludgeon him and pick up a shield, and then we'll let Archimedes go back to the center of the map because they don't get any recruitment now.
Too bad, nerds. Oh, they're not happy. They are not happy with you.
No, but I'm not too worried about that. So what we're
yeah,
doing,
no, that's like unfortunately for them.
2, and they do 2 damage. So I think that's also 4 to spawn. So I think we'll just get this one over with, so I don't end up forgetting about it. Alright, so and then we're gonna have Prospero go over here and smoke bomb them, maybe?
That's a reasonable way to look at things, I think.
On the other hand, we can just deal with one of them.
And then basically you send the jet up to do that, but you're gonna have.
Now check this out.
Oh, good one. Yeah. Good
Okay,
call.
and
Good call.
So he'll take 1 damage from the spawn that way. But actually, if we do this, now that's what I call a fucking pro gamer move.
That's
How
a turn.
awesome was that?
That is a big T-turn, man.
That was great. In fact, I'm gonna move Archimedes up here to prevent someone from like screwing around up there. Like sparks in a storm.
Storm. This guy's going Blade Runner on us, man.
There's absolutely no chance of it going Blade Runner on you. Alright, so we're left with this guy. He's pretty weak, and the disposal unit will go finish off these mountains.
Please avoid the disposal zone! Sure, thanks, Genos.
Alright. So... Oh, you know what? I think we...
Yeah, you might have screwed yourself there.
No, we're fine. We're just,
Not really. Yeah. It's fine.
So he's fine, and then we're gonna repair. Yeah, I think that's where I want him.
That's a decent turn. Leaper, no big deal. A Hornet, kind of a big deal.
Well, it's last turn, and we've got the disposal unit still on our side, so...
Yep.
And,
Good night, ladies. Ladies, good night.
That's it. Right? No
God,
one's-
the disposal unit is so good. The disposal unit is so good.
Okay, so I want to go for more reputation. 7 enemies with conveyor belts.
Clinic, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. That is about the simplest conveyor belt. Look, it's a conveyor belt of death. It just dumps them right in the acid.
I really hope that one of those leapers just tries to go over to the clinic, and you're just like, that'll work.
All right, so the leapers are covering right there. So I'm gonna make sure that we cannot be grabbed. Like so. Wait, you have 5 and you have 5. Yeah, I think that's good right now. Now we've got a blast scion, so we want to be cognizant of that. Alright, I'm pretty tipsy now. I'm having a hard time keeping my focus.
It's fine, I'm helping out. I'm helping.
Alright, so we've got... What is this guy doing? He's
Don't
like,
ask me.
He's like, he's like on a ski trip or something. He's just
The
fucking up.
inscrutable Vec.
Alright, so... Did we get range on that? Oh, we did! Dude, how cool is that?
May or may not have been my suggestion, just saying.
It was definitely mine. Okay, so we're gonna...
Uh-huh.
Alright, so if we do that they're both incapacitated, and we can capture the pod. Oh man, that was... Man, I have the...
That was pretty much an ideal turn.
Yeah.
Just
So-
bonk him into the thing. Pick
Yeah.
up a shield. There you go.
And then we'll go block. Like that. That could not have gone better.
You don't want to be blocking too much. Remember, you got to kill like 5 more dudes.
Yeah, it's true, but remember that one dude went underground. I didn't want to forget about him. And then get overwhelmed. Alright, so these guys have 2 and... Oh, geez, 5 hit points on those crabs. That's a lot. Okay, so... How can we maximize this? Well...
Check the attack order real quick. Ah, damn it. Okay.
Yeah, so we
I
gotta
was hoping you could use the crab.
What we can do, check this out. Check this out.
Oh, the attack gets canceled there, right? Yeah.
Alright, so... That's 3 deaths. Man, I don't want him to,
Dude, it's cool. You're just gonna bomb the. You're gonna bomb the.
Oh, you know what? No, I'm just
the
gonna,
leaper.
on our turn. So, do conveyor belts result in push damage or not?
No. So the conveyor belts push all at the same time.
Yeah,
So
okay,
you will not have that happen. There
so
you
then,
go.
I want to
No
do
big
this.
deal.
Is what I want to do. That's what I'm getting at. Is I don't want those two to bump into each other.
No,
That
they
way-
won't. They won't.
That way we'll
They
end
won't.
up with,
You're gonna be good.
Yeah, we'll have 5 kills, and then we'll have 4 on the map. Actually, no. 5 kills, we will block there, because then we'll have 2 on the map. We'll only have to deal with these 2.
Yeah, now you got
4, 5, 6,
you
7.
got one more turn anyway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good.
Booyah. Crab. Hornet. Hornet's being an idiot.
Alright, so the Hornet doesn't know what he's up to. Crab and Crab. Okay, Crab Rangoon guy over here, he needs to be dealt with. And
Dude, I want crab rangoons. Holy crap. Like,
alright, so here's what we're going to do. We'll get rid of this guy. Like so. And then we'll kill him like so. And then we will nuke him. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it'll work because look, smoke is before the conveyor belt. So there's our 7 kills, and we'll go block 2. He's got 1 hit point left, so he can do it.
GG, nerds.
Last turn, and we only have to deal with 2 dudes, and neither of them are threatening us, so hooray. So, Prospero's the only one who needs XP. So check this out. Let's get him some XP. Let's see if we. How can we get him one of these kills? If we kill the Firefly, it'll be 1 damage. If he shoves, though, he doesn't get. That's not going to do any damage right there. Let me think about how we can get him some XP. That's not going to work. All right.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much. He needs, what, like 5 more XP? Like, another couple of shared kills, he'll be fine.
Yeah, you're right. It's just...
Thank you.
Thank you, wife.
For the cookies?
No, I'm good, thanks. Can I have another beer, though?
Yeah, is that the one fine?
Yeah, they're in the fridge, on top of the Cokes. Well, I was really hoping to get him leveled up this turn, but... Oh, you know what? We totally can, because it's Archimedes. Check it out. Wait, no, we can't. Fuck. I was all excited there for a minute, and then...
I mean, you've still got your reset if that helps.
I was gonna grapple him over here and then shove him, but it doesn't matter because like we can't move.
It would be environmental damage, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well. We'll just call it a mission. This will be my 3rd and final beer for the night, and it'll be just perfect for the final mission.
Just a reactor core. Mech HP.
I mean, like, yeah, it's great that we have it, but we don't really need it at this point. We got
that's a little underwhelming.
Move or health, like he's got decent movement already, so I would say let's go for health. So he's got the shield anyway.
I would definitely take move.
Yeah,
like you said, nobody has ever regretted having too much move.
So kill 4 enemies with acid, and we have the acid tank supporting us, but we don't have any like acid pits or anything. And the alpha that's showing up is a Firefly rather than a Centipede. So is that worth the extra reputation? We don't really need reputation at this point, and that's pretty dangerous. That like it's a pretty high chance we could fail that objective. So I'm debating whether we want to go for the easier ones or the.
I mean, if you get what. God.
We're here for a challenge. Like, we might as well take the more difficult one.
I was going to advise you to as well, because I think you're forgetting that centipedes are a thing.
Like, we're already this close to the end game. It's very unlikely we're gonna lose. We definitely want to avoid these guys though. So we'll go. That'll be our layout. So this Firefly has limited options. He can pretty much shoot. He can go move here and shoot these guys, or try and go for us. This guy can go, man, he has pretty enormous movement. He can go a lot of places, and these leapers can only grab buildings, so we're good. The poor little girl, she's wearing her pajamas, kind of look like a prison jumpsuit, and she's in a crib, so it looks like she's in jail. Poor baby. Fuck, I'm like getting really tipsy now. And my focus, I'm really losing focus here. Let's see. Okay, we've got this guy we can ignore. We can ignore the burrower as well. We really only have to care about the leapers. So for the leapers, well, his rocket is 2 damage. So I think what we'll do, we use him to deal with the Scion. Or no, okay, I think what we'll do, we'll shove him into the Scion, so he'll take
move the acid tank first before you do that.
Well, I mean, I will. Don't worry.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, we're gonna shove the leaper into this tile, so he will take care of the Scion.
And he'll murder the dude for you.
We'll move the Artie back. He'll kill the leaper. The leaper will explode, but he'll explode on the mountain, so it won't matter. And then
what you should probably do, by the way, is never mind.
We're gonna tag the. Can he get down there? I think we'll tag the Firefly with acid. Is what we'll do. So kind of like, this is what I'm thinking. And then that'll go. This will count towards 1 point toward the acid objective. This leaper will kill the Scion. This leaper will be dead, and the only guy left will be him and plus whatever spawns, and then the Firefly. Sound good?
Yep, seems reasonable to me.
Hold on, I just got a slightly better idea. How much damage does his burrower do? He does 2 damage, and his turn order is. Oh, never mind, that doesn't work. I was gonna pull the Firefly into the path of the burrower, but then since he goes first, wait, it's Archimedes, isn't it? Oh my god, I'm a genius. Check it out. That does work. Yeah! Holy crap, yeah! That does work. Okay, so we're gonna use our reset here
What
to
an
make sure that
asshole.
works. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of it. Yeah. Now we're gonna acid this Firefly. Now we're gonna push you down here. Now we're gonna pull you because you're inflicted with acid, and we're gonna move to go pick up the pot.
Because Archimedes is the man.
That was an awesome turn.
That was a great turn. Get shit on, nerd.
Yeah, this is definitely a stream highlight right here. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great setup.
Okay. What else do we got going on? Okay. I don't really care about the tank. Oh man, he didn't die. Oh, because he only does 2 damage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
So I'm thinking we use Archimedes to pulley the Firefly into the spawn and then block, which will leave us having to deal with these 3 guys. We can. Let's see. The crab. Okay, man, the crab is a problem actually. So what's the turn order? 3, 4, and he's doing 5 damage. The crab has 5 hit points, so I think actually shove the leaper into the crab, and so the leaper will deal with the crab. That'll free up the tank. The tank can tag the crab with acid, and then we'll kill the Firefly with the jet, and then move Archimedes to block the remainder.
You won't need to kill the Firefly with the jet if you push with the push mech where you had him, because Archimedes will bump into the Firefly, kill it, which will count towards your objective, by the way. Then you can still have the leaper kill the crab.
Totally, yeah. So like this here, like so. Yeah, that works. Okay, so Prospero's blocking, that's great, and he will definitely kill that crab.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to tag So
you definitely want to tag the crab first to make sure you keep up with your bonus objectives. Oh, wait a minute! No! You're right. You want to tag the burrower. Make sure the burrower actually bloody well dies.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm thinking.
Yeah. You're completely correct.
And then we will probably just have him repair because.
Yep.
Yeah.
Repairing is good.
Well done.
And he acided himself.
Yeah.
What a gentleman.
Yeah,
what an absolute gentleman.
Alright, so we'll move Jet up here. Tank can come down. He doesn't need to repair, but he'll do it anyway. Does that do
move Artie into a more neutral position, but yeah.
He already fired, so he can't.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Alright, last turn, all we have to do is kill one of these guys covered in acid, and we're good.
And thank God the Hornet decided to cover himself.
Yeah, so we're good there.
Appreciate you, idiot.
2-1, okay, so we do have to deal with the crab. We will... I think what we'll do is acid the crab. We'll leap over him. He can't do anything, and then we'll shove him out of the way.
Yep, there you go. Morons.
Alright. Got another pod. Don't really need it at this point.
Titan Fist, who cares?
Yeah, really.
Ugh, Prospero got great defense. God bless it.
Well, he's not coming back then. He can just stay.
Sorry, Prospero, you're going off onto the time ether somewhere.
So health. I'll just we'll give him health, I guess. We're gonna swap that out for shield friendly anyway, and for the last mission. So we don't need grid power. We don't really need anything. So let's just go. One more reputation will give us 9, and we'll have like superfluous amounts of cores then, because 1, 2, we can only even use a total of 4 more. So yeah, we'll just
do whatever's easiest.
So we'll dig this one so you can explain the teleporters.
So the teleporters are kind of hilarious. Like red teleports to red, blue teleports to blue. The unusual thing with it is that it happens immediately. So, as a for example, with that leaper there, if we were to use push mech to push him, instead of the environment acting after we end our turn, it would happen immediately. So if we pushed the leaper onto that blue square, it would immediately go to the other blue square at B7. So that's basically how the teleporters work. It's really quite odd in that way, and not at all quote unquote normal as far as the game is concerned. But hey man, it works. It's fine. Teleporters are kind of fun.
I think that could not have been a better first turn. Look at that.
Yeah, no, that was an absolutely ideal first turn.
All right, so okay, we'll get rid of that Scion.
Please and thank you.
And then, okay, actually, so can we? No, we probably won't help you, but we can. So he's got 1 hit point left. I think we'll. So he doesn't have. I think we'll just do this. We're gonna burn. No, we're not gonna do that. We'll just kill him and then move back and then move here. That's what we'll do. Oh, man, I didn't bother to put a Prospero shield. It didn't really matter that much.
You really didn't.
So
this mech is cocooned me in a manner that is neither protective nor safe. Thank you, Prospero.
Yeah, so I think what we'll do here, that'll move him there, but he's got so much movement, it doesn't really matter where he is. He still has 2 health, so we're gonna have him move to block. We're not sure where yet.
Olfactory receptors. That's basically Mr. Archimedes saying that the smoke is fucking with his ability to smell.
You know what though? So that means for sure the next turn I have to have 2 of the 3 repaired. Because I'll be at 6 mech damage.
That is true.
No, I won't. I'll just
go down there and blow your push to shield yourself.
Yeah. Wait, is his shield not? His shield's active. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just do that.
Just do that. Boom. Done.
Okay. We'll need to do at least. We'll still have to do 2 repairs actually. I think. 'Cause
you'll need to do 2 repairs, but it's fine. You can do that.
And we can. We only have to deal with 1 dude. So what?
Yeah, the burrower is the only one who's a problem.
So he's no longer a problem.
Idiot.
We will repair. We will repair, and map is over.
No problem at all.
Yep. Easy peasy. It's slightly less easy because I have a couple of beers working through me, but
Firefly leader. This guy is a dick.
oh man, the Firefly leader is great because he does so much freaking damage that like shoving him around is so useful. This is also a pretty fun map. The maps are more or less random, but this is a pretty common layout for Detritus where you get the 3 pools in front of 3 buildings. Because the AI can't, so with the exception of the Hornets, they can't attack from this position. So you can kind of like do some denial of service. Like so. So you kind of force their hand there. Remain in your emergency pens until safety has been restored.
You are not comforting Archimedes. You are just not.
All right, so we got to deal. Everybody's threatening right now. So
yeah, dude. This is Exhibit A as to why the smoke drop is useful, though.
Yeah, another thing we could do is we could RD the burrower, and then we can have the jet both these guys, and then shove him into the spawn here.
Sure, yeah, that would totally cancel no, you don't want to shove the crab into the spawn. You want to shove the crab from the spawn because shoving him from the spawn will cancel his attack. Remember, he hits for
he's 1 by 2. Okay.
The 2 tiles, so he will still be targeting that thing.
Yeah, okay, so that you're right. You're totally right. So what we'll do is this,
glad I noticed that.
And then we'll move him here, and we're done. That was a perfect first turn because not only
holy crap,
yeah, they got no spawn, so that was great.
And that freaking Firefly leader is going down this turn.
All right, so we're gonna
100%,
do the same thing with Prospero there, and we're gonna. I think we'll move him up here and then block. Actually, we'll move him to the water just in case we need that tile for whatever reason. And then shove him into the smoke.
They get 1 spawn, and that crab is really feeling the pain. Even. Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
All right, so
this is amateur hour.
3 and 3. So I think what we'll do. Okay, he's dead.
Hey, Chip. Come here, buddy.
He's dead, and we'll move there. Leaving us the last turn, we will have
1 guy. 2 guys, I'm sorry.
A Blast Scion and a Firefly.
Firefly. Oh, man. This really is amateur hour for the back.
Alright, we're done.
GG. No re.
Let's do this. End game. End game.
End game, boy.
Fucking still that 1 grid damage from the second map.
Yeah, like that is the only mark on your or the only black mark on your rep right here.
All right, so we're left with light. So light tank is a great item to get early on. At this point, we're too far into the matter, so we can afford. We're gonna sell Titan Fist, which means we can afford 4, which means everybody's maxed. Can't really get better than that, can we?
We really can't.
Everybody's maxed.
Off we go, son.
All right, we have the scorpion who can hit these up here. So we're gonna go.
Double check the scorpion boss.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Here. I don't want to put Prospero that far. Wait, he's got 6 movement, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a ton of movement and he flies. Like, I don't know what you're worried about.
Yeah, he's fine up there. Yeah, let's do this.
That beetle, man.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, beetle.
That beetle is fucked.
Alright, you're threatening the pylon, you're threatening the pylon, you're threatening 2 pylons. So, let's see here. I think...
You can move Artie back and just flatly knock that stupid scorpion into the sea.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So we'll Artie the scorpion into the water. We'll have Prospero... Is he 2 tiles or 1? He's 2 tiles. Okay, so I think we'll have Jet come and we'll have Archimedes drop a bomb on him and block, and then we'll have Prospero. Well, I think block and smoke bomb is the best option because we want to minimize how many people pop up next turn. So I think this is what we'll do, like this, because he's got that. Well, you know, he also has grapple. So is that if he moves up 1?
If he moves up 1, he's gonna miss. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll miss. But the only real difference is that we will have taken 1 less damage, and this guy will still have 4 out of 5 health. Whereas if we do it this way, he'll only have 1 health left, and will still block.
And we'll also have a smoke in front of that 1 pylon.
Yeah, so I think that's the better move there.
I would generally agree.
And then we'll go smoke bomb him. And by smoking here, he will no longer be able to attack from that tile. He'll be forced to move out, so... Alright then, I think that was a really solid first turn.
I agree. God, I love beetles. Idiots.
Just full Leroy right into the lava sea.
Full Leroy.
Oh, thank you. Look at him.
Look at that idiot.
All right then. Okay. Well, we'll shove him into the ocean. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this!
If I had a freaking cigar, I would light it because
Okay,
it's so nice when a plan comes together.
All right, so like, okay, that could not have been an easier turn. Are we done? Is it really? Was it really that easy?
Latter-day Saints, man.
Was it really that easy?
It definitely was exactly that easy. Idiot, moron.
I think that's a Vec equivalent of surrendering.
It might as well be at this point.
Okay, so we've got the beetle and we've got the firefly. Now that's lava, right? Okay, so I think what we'll do is now both of you guys are dealt with.
Good, good job.
And then we'll just block. Okay, so he's on fire, but okay, like is it really gonna be this easy?
I mean, this is serious. They are seriously making this like luxurious.
All right, so the Hornet can be ignored because he's attacking the shielded. You're flying, so why don't you just shove him into the smoke there? You take care of him, and like, I don't know.
Just
he's got nothing
hang
to do.
out.
Like when you only get 3 actions per turn, and one of your dudes can literally just do nothing, you know you're doing all right.
You're in friggin' good shape, man.
All right, here we go. Last map.
Coming seismic activity. Brace yourselves.
Thanks, Prospero. That's a lot of confidence.
God bless, Prospero. Come off it, brother.
He's just basically telling us we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Man, Fucking 1 grid away from a perfect game. What a bunch of garbage. All because of 1 fucking 2 hit point Hornet. That is the difference between a perfect game.
Oh my god, did that bomb just squish one?
Alright then, okay, so here we go. We got...
oh, that is funny stuff right there, brother.
Alright, so these two are threatening the same pylon. We've got him threatening the bomb, and then this Hornet is also threatening the pylon. So, kind of inclined to smoke these two, and then shove him into the sea. That's an option. I could also, however, I could get the, if I'm willing to give it one of the pylons, we could have the jet, we have Archimedes pull the leader into the falling rock, which is not too bad. We give up one of the pylons in doing that, which is fine at this point because we don't lose any score by doing that. So, and that leader is pretty deadly. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, how we do that is, I don't know. That's pretty dangerous though, because he's gonna take a full hit from.
Yeah, I don't know that I recommend doing that.
Yeah, I think instead what I'm gonna do. There we go. Check that out.
I like this. I like this a lot more.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Okay, so
boom.
To the lava you go. You're
going to hell,
and
then you're going there a little slightly quicker.
And then we can still block with Archimedes.
God, Fire and Forget is so good.
Yeah, it really is. It's a toss-up between that and Prospero's Flying as to which is most awesome.
Christ, that's a tyrant.
Yeah, but we've only got 1 alpha on the field, so okay. What we'll do is we will have... You got 4 hit points. We're gonna kill you. You know, I don't man. Would the static damage the bomb? I hope not.
It shouldn't.
Okay, we're gonna move him up there just in case somebody nasty comes up here. We don't want him to. Alright, we will only have 1 alpha. Or, I don't know if it's gonna be an alpha. We'll have 1 dude.
And yeah, the static did not affect the bomb at all.
Right. All right, so we gotta. That's not a problem at all. Okay, so what we're gonna do?
No, this is simple.
I mean, we can even ignore him because it's shielded, and we've only got 2 turns left. So even if he takes it out, whatever. So I'm kind of inclined just to let him screw it.
I would.
Oh, you
honestly,
know what? No. Check it out. Check it out. Block.
Boom. Yeah, I forgot you still had smoke.
Yeah. There we go. Done.
This is one of the least stressful final battles I've ever seen in my life.
This has been this is rookie mode. This is incredible.
Is this actually hard mode? Is this real life?
Yeah, really.
I don't think it is.
I'd rather have not taken that grid damage in the first island, though.
God, no joke.
All right, so
you could literally just move your dudes and hit end turn and you win. Yeah, that is the situation you're at right now.
What I'd rather do is that, just because it's funny.
It is hilarious. By the way, you're about... Yeah, you just fucking murdered Archimedes. Could you reset turn, please? There you go.
What does it matter? We don't need to block. It's the last turn. Just chill. Just watch the fight.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah, okay. We're done. Do we win? Yeah, we win. Ready? 1, 2, 3,
yeah, we
go.
win. We're done here. Nerds.
And there is a game that is 1 fucking grid damage away from perfect. That is ridiculous.
God.
Initiating the farewell protocol. He's calling us unadvanced.
Vecticide complete. I think Prospero ends up winning out just because he says the word Vecticide.
I think he's by far the snarkiest of all the pilots. You notice the robots in general are pretty snarky. All right, what do we end up on? So we had no pilot deaths. No
pilot deaths.
No mechs destroyed. No objectives failed, and 1 grid damage.
It is a true story.
That was a nut hair away from a perfect game. 29,866. What a waste. What a waste.
Such a pain.
So we're taking damage for sure. Reactor and hit points over grid defense and move. Sorry, Prospero.
Yep. As much as I love you, Prospero, you got grid defense, and grid defense is completely bloody useless.
Statistics for that profile: we got 137 kills, 2.5 hours. Oh, that was about 20 minutes of me attending to the needs of my family.
I mean, that's a long time, but legitimately, like at least half an hour of that was you like having a daughter. You know, anybody messes with you on that, they can go eat a dick because they don't understand what's important in life.
So we've got, I think, 7 kills versus Prospero's 20. Yeah, that shove is just so powerful. Well, that's it. We're done.
Fantastic. Now we will visit this one again with the next squad. Who is the next squad? Show me the next squad.
Well, I mean it's really up to us because we could go with any of them. So I say we'll probably go with Zenith Guard because they're probably people tend to unlock them next because they're a pretty powerful squad and they're pretty easy to use. We can also do Flame Behemoths. They're one of my favorites.
Flame Behemoths are fucking hilarious.
So Frozen Titans is definitely like an expert level squad. You have to be really good to use them effectively. Same with Steel Judoka. They're kind of like they are challenge mode on their own. They are tough to use.
I don't like Steel Judoka very much.
Whereas any one of Zenith, Blitzkrieg, and Flame, those are all pretty powerful on their own, and you have to learn a little bit new tactics with Blitzkrieg, but with either Zenith or Flame, you can just kind of pound stuff. So we'll probably go with one of those two.
All right. Well, appreciate everybody for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. It's been a wonderful time hanging out with y'all. Take care of yourselves until we see you again.
Yeah. Bye-bye.